Hello, and welcome to The Collectors. Are you looking for Funko Pops? We got everything from commons exclusive to chases. What about statues? We have everything from anime, Marvel, and DC available. So if you're looking to build your collection, be sure to stop by The Collectors. We are located in 3937 South McCall Road, Edinburgh, Texas.
What is up? What is up? What is up? Welcome back. It's Friday night. You're here with the Average Boys podcast. Shout out to our sponsors. It's your boy Crispy, and I am here with my boy Brian. Brian, what is up, my dude?
What is up, Chris, man? What's going on, man? How's your day? How's your week? How's your month? How's your year been so far, man?
Oh man. My week's been probably more down than up.
Yeah, tell us about it.
Pretty bad. I ended up getting food poisoning like on Tuesday.
Oof.
and it hit me pretty bad Wednesday, and it came in Thursday like a wrecking ball. Miley Cyrus, shout out.
I was gonna say,
yeah, man, I was in pretty bad shape. But I smashed it out Thursday night and went back to work Friday. Work has been a little hectic. It's been a little bit speedy. We had a machine breakdown, so everything was all over the place. But was able to manage, finish out the week pretty strong. You know, fucking manned up and did pretty good. Yo, what's up, Robert? How you doing, my dude? Shout out, brother. Shout out. Shout out to Jeremy too. Thank you for sharing the post. It's been a pretty good week. What about you, man?
Oh man, I can't complain. Honestly, it's been a easygoing week. Can't complain. Just ready for the weekend, man.
How's the weather over there? We got cold weather, man. I don't know if D told you.
Come on, man.
It's been crazy, I bet, dude.
It's actually snowing right now as we speak.
That's beautiful though, man. We never get that shit done. I mean, it can be beautiful for a moment, not when it's every day or whatever.
I'm over it. Like,
you've seen it all your life.
Like, I'll give it to you. The first day that it snows, okay. Like the first day of the year that it snows is cool.
I got a bunch of my friends traveling right now, and they're
after that, I'm over it.
I have a bunch of my friends traveling right now, so they're all posting up shit about snow and that it's all exciting, and then they got to go outside, and it's a whole fucking different.
Yeah, it's a whole different ball game. Yeah, it's a whole ball.
They're like, no, fuck, I don't like this. I'm not made for this weather.
Yep.
Now, we got some cold weather going on right now, and they're here in the valley, and we got it caught everybody by a pretty good surprise, but ain't nothing to slow us down. We had a really good event last week. I think I told you about it. We were going to this event called United Collectors. About 300 and something people showed up.
Nice.
In a small event center, man. It was a pretty big show. Pretty big show. It was bigger than what the show normally gets, which of course, I mean, you can kind of understand that the coronavirus kind of like kept everybody at home before, but yeah, man, it turned out really, really good. Derp Gaming, how we doing, man? Derpy Gaming, good to see you, man. Same thing, Jeremy, how you doing, man? Y'all looking 4K, man? 4K, brother. We looking good in 4K. Awesome. Thank you guys for joining in. We got some pretty interesting things we're gonna talk about today, man. What else happened? Anything else good this week for you?
No, man. I mean, at my job has been slow, and I love it when it's slow because it can get fucking hectic as shit. So anytime it's a slow week or slow day, man, I appreciate the fuck out of it, man. So I just.
How about you guys in the comments? Make sure you guys put up what you guys have been doing this week so we can catch up on you guys, man. But yeah, let's go ahead and jump into some cool shit that we saw about this week. Of course, probably one of the first things that I want to talk about. This is super. I mean, it's not really like a big talking point or anything like that, but So we all knew about Microsoft buying out EA, like last week. So there was a really, really big thing. Everyone was like, oh man, fucking PlayStation's going to get shit on. Activision bought out all these rights and all this other stuff. Well, it looks like Sony had an answer this week. At the very, very beginning of the week, Sony ended up coming out that they are, but I don't know if it's like a partnership or it's like they're buying out, but they are hooking up with Bungie now, which is super fucking crazy. Of course, Bungie is known for, of course, its franchises like Halo and Destiny. So, I mean, what does that mean for us? Like, I'm super excited. Of course, I grew up. I mean, like the majority of us dudes with our man mentalities and our macho bravado, we grew up wanting to be Master Chief. So, and of course, Destiny came up not too far back. But of course, I think a lot of people out there are really big fans of the Halo series. What does that mean for PlayStation and Xbox now with PlayStation getting the rights to Halo or getting the rights to Bungie in general? Does that mean like they got the whole thing, like no more Xbox, like haha, we got you, or what?
So there's a huge difference between the deal with Activision and Microsoft and then PlayStation and Bungie. It's because the acquisition of Activision for Microsoft, that was a takeover. They basically just dissolved Activision into the Microsoft corporation. So now Microsoft is the end all be all. They make all the decisions for the
Okay.
company and all that stuff. The difference here is this is a partnership. So Bungie Games, or Bungie Inc., I should say, is still kind of an independent division. They're just
Okay.
partnering up with PlayStation. There's still going to be a multi-platform company. So no matter what they make, there's still going to be a multi-platform uh system. So I think that even makes it a little bit better is that any games that you thought were only going to be for Xbox or only going to be for PlayStation, they're still going to make these games for everything.
Shit.
So
So, and that's pretty cool because I mean, of course, Halo has been strictly just an
Xbox.
Xbox series. Does that pretty much kind of give us the idea that we might get a Halo series coming up to maybe PlayStation?
I think what could happen is that it could drop um
Like a
on
collection or something.
it could possibly drop on PlayStation first as like an exclusive
Wow,
and
that would be
then come
bad.
out on multi-platforms afterwards. Like I think that could be something that they're throwing around. I really don't know, but I think it's good because now you could play Halo on PlayStation.
I mean,
You
that's
know?
super cool. I mean, not too long ago, I think maybe like, man, I want to say like 8 years ago, maybe five, we had the Master Chief Collection come out. And it came out for Microsoft, of course. So it was for Xbox and PC. And
Mhm.
of course, they had the new graphics from all the old video games. They had it to where everything was like a 1080p kind of graphics. So you could switch them out. Of course, playing on the older graphics was really cool.
Yeah.
But of course, the only thing that's been sucking is that we never got a PlayStation variation or something like that. Even though it came out like on everything else, we never got it. And I think with the growth of like battle royale games and a lot of these free to plays, like Bungie has to pick up its fucking slack. They
Yeah.
can. It's like almost like every video game system that's out there, a video game company that's out there, that's third party, like the way Bungie is. Like I think it has to be like, hey, you know what? Like we cannot be like isolated to an individual's franchise.
Yeah.
Like we have to be able to be in all of them to be in this race.
Yeah.
There's no reason for the generation that's out there now to say, "Oh, look, there's that Master Chief guy from Fortnite.
Hmm.
Oh, dude, there's Spider-Man from Fortnite." Like
Yeah.
they should all be individually known for their own franchises,
Mhm.
not based on a battle royale game that, everyone is jumping on. I think recently Halo just dropped their new video game Halo Infinite,
Yeah.
and the fan base and the multiplayer is, phenomenal. Everybody's enjoying the shit out of it. But of course, it's only isolated to just Xbox players and
Yeah.
PC players. They're missing out a whole other opportunity to make money from the PlayStation area.
Yeah. So I think for the longest, as long as I can remember, unless you were a strictly PC gamer,
Yeah.
you were missing out on a lot.
Oh yeah.
If you had a PlayStation, you were missing out on the Microsoft Xbox exclusive games.
Mhm.
If you were an Xbox player, you're missing out on the PlayStation exclusive games. So like unless you were, a PC gamer, you were pretty much fucked you were pretty much missing out. And I think that this kind of remedies that. Like this kind of like blends everything together. I think it's pretty
Yeah.
dope.
And not only that, I mean, with the success of Destiny 2 the last couple of years, like
I
I
was
think
gonna say, like, I'm a Destiny fan more than and I know this may be blasphemy, but like
no, no,
again,
no,
I'm
it's
I'm,
fine.
I'm a PlayStation player. Like I think I owned an Xbox a long time ago,
Mhm.
like the 360. But I'm an Xbox. I mean, I'm sorry, I'm a PlayStation player.
That's
So
fine.
it's like Destiny is gonna be the game that I run to before Halo,
Yeah,
personally.
and that's what's cool is like I think it was a really good test for Bungie, the company, Bungie dot what is it? Bungie what do they call
Bungie,
it? Bungie Studios?
Bungie Inc.
Yeah, Bungie Inc. I think it was a really good testament for them to go off and do Destiny on multi-platform and then see the success of it and then measure the rates of like, okay, cool, what are the numbers? Here's Halo Infinite, here's Destiny, what are we going with here? And I think the sales are probably going to come out of Destiny 2 that they're higher than the Bungie one or than the Xbox one and Halo because it's just you're only focusing on two groups.
Yeah.
Out of the whole opportunity. I mean, I think if I'm not mistaken, I think Destiny's even available on Switch, isn't it?
I think so. It
Yeah,
wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me.
And that's what's crazy is like I've always thought like the Warzone franchise, like it's a missed opportunity on the Switch. A lot of companies that aren't on the Switch, it's a missed opportunity. I think the Switch is, to me, I shit on it a lot, and Trigger fucking hates me for it.
Nah, I think it's an underrated system, to be honest with you. I know I've heard you shit on it.
Man, I will shit on it every
but
day
I
of my
like
life.
it. It's underrated.
But that's the thing. I like it too. I think it's an amazing console. But it's just, I think it's so overrun with like overdue games that are just like, oh, here's Mario 9, Mario 10,
Yeah.
Mario 11, and it's like, give us something different, man. Like you have probably one of the greatest, most innovative ideas for a console. It can go anywhere, it can play anywhere, it can connect to anything, and it can get on Wi-Fi and it can do some shit. The only thing it doesn't do, which I think they'll remedy that in maybe like the next two variations, is that it has its own Wi-Fi server.
Okay.
So like you can go anywhere and it's just connected all the time.
All the
like
time.
And that's probably what they're going to get from like the Quest, because they have it to where, if I'm not mistaken, where your Quest can connect to your internet on your phone. So if you can connect to your phone with it, then you're good to go. Which, I mean, fuck, dude, if they can get your Switch to connect to your phone without a hotspot, what do you need anything else
Unstoppable,
for?
Yeah,
it would fucking dominate. But I don't want to do that and play fucking Animal Crossing. You know what I mean?
Not? I mean, but there's a market. There's a market for
definitely.
it.
I'm not saying it's bad, but the thing is like I want to play Warzone on it. I don't want to just play Fortnite. I want to play that. I want to play. I mean, they always talk about how the Nintendo Switch is strictly a family-oriented game system, but they have Doom 2 on it.
Yeah,
like literally, Doom 2 is probably one of the most hardcore games. I fucking love Doom 2. Like, it's amazing.
I still haven't played Doom. I am a huge fan of the
originals?
first Doom.
Oh,
no,
dude,
the remake, the remake
shit,
Doom
the first
1.
Doom.
Yeah,
dude, you will love part 2. You will fucking love it, dude. It is such an awesome game. It's literally you building the Doom guy from the bottom up, because you start in the most basic shit.
Yeah.
But like as you're building your, I mean, you kind of build the character in the first one by kind of upgrading his mods.
Yeah, you're mostly
mods are
upgrading,
so much better in part 2.
Really,
they're a million times better, and the music,
I love
the whole fucking vibe of the game is just amazing. That game to me revolutionized first-person shooters, comparing it to the old, like fucking Sony fucking first Doom game that ever came out, like in the 90s.
Yeah.
It literally revolutionized. Like, if there is a first-person shooter that is a story mode that is not following what Doom 2 did, you're fucking failing in life. Yeah. Just make fucking 2D platformers. Just make fucking Mario 1 and just get the fuck out of the way. Like, straight up. So what does this look like for Bungie and Sony? Does it look like a good thing? Does it look like it's going to be something that's going to be a long-term thing, short-term? What do we think? Is it going to battle the Activision shit?
See, I think that's all that it was. I think that this is mostly a shot thing, just to be an answer to the Microsoft acquisition of Activision. But I don't know. We don't know. Again, there's only 2 titles that we're looking forward to with this acquisition. So, or I should say this partnership. I gotta stop saying that. So we'll see. I can't see how it hurts.
Yeah, I kind of think you're right. Like, it didn't seem like it was like at first when it came out in the news, and this was like Monday, right? Like, it came out, popped off like Monday,
just a few days ago. Yeah.
Early. It was one of those things, like, it made it seem like it was like, oh, look at what we got. Like, oh, you bought Activision? Well, look, Sony's with us now. But it's not in that sense. It's like you said, it's like a partnership.
Yeah.
So it literally benefits them a lot more, because that means Bungie can make exclusive, specifically content, skins, designs, or something specifically for PlayStation, and then kind of be like, all right, cool. Even if they wanted to, Bungie can literally make a whole new series, like dedicated to a whole new story, using the same format as the Halo or the Destiny story.
But now they have the money of Sony to back them up.
Yeah, which
so
is
that's what I'm saying.
Spider-Man.
So to me, this is almost like equivalent to like a production deal with like the music industry. It's like it's a partnership. It's like I'm paying for you to produce me, for you to get the shit out there, almost like a marketing type of thing. So it's like now Bungie has the money of Sony in their back pocket, and God knows what they can do with that. God only knows what they can do with that. So
that's gonna be great. Oh shit! Before we go on to our next one, I didn't even get to ask you, what are you listening to this week? What was blasting in your music? I want to ask you every week because you
Oh,
always
you
have
ask
such
me
great
every
music
week.
quality.
Oh, you're gonna laugh at me.
Nah, dude.
So I go through weeks where I want to hear certain eras of music. So this week it was like the 50s and 60s, dude. I was blasting some Ford Tops, and again, I'm very all over the place. I listened to some Ford Tops, and then I jumped into like some of the 80s with some Phil Collins, a little Elton John, dude. Like I could jam to that shit all fucking day, man. But yeah,
George,
nothing too hardcore this week, man. How about yourself?
look at George in the comment, man, putting in those ideas, man. Can you imagine that?
That's what I'm
The Master
saying.
Chief origin
That's what I'm saying.
story.
So now they have
Whoa.
Sony's money now,
Yeah,
dude. They can do whatever the fuck they want.
that would be legit. I'm not even gonna lie. That
That's
would
what
be
I'm saying. Like that's the only thing that's standing out to me. It's not anything else. It's the fact that now they have Sony's money to help them get shit out. Like again, it's almost like a production deal. So now you want to make a movie, you want to make a TV series, you want to make anything. You want to make a live action Destiny? Well, now you have
Oh
Sony.
man,
Well, now you have Sony in your back pocket to produce it.
man. Not even gonna lie. That gives me like just good vibes of making. God damn, that's so good. He Bully Maguire too, man. Yeah, as the young Master Chief Bully Maguire. Enough of the Spider-Man talk all week, man. But yeah, straight up. So what have I been listening to? Lindsay Ray from The Anchor. She's another metal chick. And if
Okay.
you guys haven't heard her, you guys need to listen to Lindsay's Kitchen pulled pork sandwiches. This chick sings heavy metal pulled pork sandwiches. Like she teaches you how to make pulled pork sandwiches, but singing like a death metal scream. She was also one of the
Wait.
bro, if you haven't, don't even fuck around, dude. If you haven't heard it,
You can't just say this so casually without a smile. That is
yeah,
so
dude,
funny.
it is that fucking good. If you're online right now, YouTube, Lindsay's Kitchen,
She's a
fucking
metal
pork
chick
chop sandwiches.
that's telling you how to make pork chop sandwiches or
It's the best, dude. It's the best. You'll thank me later, I guarantee it. But the one song is, I'll tell you right now, I have it up right now. I'm gonna tap
That's
in
great.
The Anchor. Let's see, The Anchor. Oh, Rip and Tear is the one that you should look up. But The Anchor, One More Day. That was a song that I was listening to a lot this week. And what's the other guy? I'll tell you right now. Nose of the Grindstone. Yep. Those are the two songs I listen to. Now, Tyler Childress. I listen to that song literally religiously. It's kind of like a bluegrass song, but the song is like every message every young man wants to sing to his father. It's the easiest fucking song I can explain it to you. It's just the song is literally like, hey man, you know what? Everything you taught me, I understand it. My nose is on the grindstone. Like I'm constantly working hard. It's a beautiful song. If you need inspiration, that's the fucking song to listen to. But of course, Lindsay, pork chop sandwiches.
Noted. And anyone that's in the rap, I'm not sure how many rap fans we have in the comments. If you guys are into like hardcore rap, Benny the Butcher just came out with a new song with J. Cole. It's fucking phenomenal. Like
J. Cole,
J. Cole is quickly becoming my favorite rapper today. Like he's doing his fucking thing. So yeah, if you guys get a chance, listen to that. And
I'm really heavy into different types of music.
Me too.
So like I really want to be able to do this. Hey, we listened to this week. You guys jump on it. I just wanted. I think I asked you about it last week.
Yeah.
I can have some
new shit. I can have some new for you every week, man, and talk about it.
Dude, it's just every week I always listen to something. Like I'm really cool about certain types of genre. Like for some reason, I don't like country too much, but I love bluegrass. And I think I told you about that last week, right? There's this guy named Amigo the Devil. And Amigo the Devil, he's another dude that makes like really weird, like almost like Tim Burton-ish bluegrass music. It's always like weird.
I love Tim Burton.
Yeah, it's very cryptic and it's very like, oh, there's worms that eat my body kind of shit. Like he'll just make up some random thing that kind of like you can literally think of it as in a Tim Burton kind of scenario.
Yeah.
Well, this dude's actually going to do a live concert online for like $12 for people to come watch. It's the first time he's ever going to be like with a group instead of a solo act. So he'll be doing that like this week, actually, if I'm not mistaken. So if anybody's into the bluegrass scene, if you're into like the whole like Sean James, I think I told you about Sean James. Did you ever get to hear any of the stuff?
I did not know.
No. Oh man, it's because it's country. I know. It's because it's country.
You're gonna like I'm gonna go dragging and screaming and clawing my way if you're gonna try to get me to listen to some country.
But
gotta
it's
be some
because you like to drink. You like to drink, don't you?
yes.
Do you like to? If you like to drink,
little
Sean James and White Buffalo are like the dudes you listen to while you drink.
Okay.
Like it's one of those. I don't know how to explain it, but like it makes the beer taste better. It makes the alcohol taste better. Like it has a purpose.
There's no better country drink song than Tennessee whiskey.
Oh shit, man!
That's a real like. I'm not
you
a
might be from
big.
Texas, man. I ain't gonna lie.
I'm not a big country fan at all. But it's something about that song. It's fucking
Like
amazing.
you don't have to be a country fan to really enjoy the music. Sometimes it's just
It
something
hits.
about the way it's just delivered.
Yeah,
Something
so
about the way it's
it's-
just fucking delivered.
Yeah.
It's straight up Nose on the Grindstone and The Anchor One More Day. Those are my two songs. Pretty
Gotcha.
badass. And we'll make sure we cover this every week to give you guys some new music, new things to listen to. I think it's always a great thing to go off of. But yes, I think I saw it in the comments earlier, but we're going on to our next section.
what it is, what
now,
they do.
Dealing that we're talking about the Sony the Sony acquisition of partnering up with Bungie. We can't overlook the aspect of earlier in the week, probably around the same time that this thing came out.
What it is.
We got the trailer for what Paramount's Halo series.
Paramount Plus, right?
Man, dude, what that caught me. That sideswiped the fuck out of me. I was so stoked about it.
But I was anticipating it. It's been talked about for months now, no?
Oh yeah, but I just didn't know the trailer was gonna come out.
Oh, it was coming. Like it
yeah,
just got you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
So
was
what
like,
you-
dude, like I wasn't even anticipating. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. Like every week, our boy Robert's always hitting us up, and he's like, "Yo, Spider-Man trailer tomorrow. Yo, this dropping tomorrow. Yo, this Doctor Strange 2 dropping next week, maybe Monday, Friday, Saturday, or whatever." We didn't hear anything, and I was like, even Robert didn't even get to mention anything.
Yeah.
But boy, did it catch me by surprise, and it was a good fucking surprise. So we got the trailer. We got 100%. We got to see Chief. We got to see some of the action. We got to see some of the CG and all that stuff. What Brian, give me the lowdown. How did you feel?
I think the only way I can describe it is badass.
Straight. I mean, that's as easy as you put it. Like, I mean, yeah, like for me, I was a little iffy about the guy's voice. There was something.
I'm not gonna nitpick that. Like that was a hell of a trailer. And you know what it is? I don't want to get trailer fished. We sometimes we get trailer fished, and a series or a show could look great because of the series, and it just turns out to be a dud. But this looks fucking amazing. Like this looks like it was like this was like Paramount put some money into this shit, bro.
Well, we can remember, right? The Halo story or the movie has been talked about since like 2015, 2016 even. The guy that made District 9 was supposed to make Halo. And then they took the rights from him. They canceled the movie. They did all this stuff.
Did you like District 9?
Yeah, I thought it was great. I think he did such an amazing, like, I mean, just the idea of what he came up with was so fantastic.
I like District 9.
And then the CG that he uses and the way he does his hard surface work and all the mechanics and all the stuff, like he creates a whole new world.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's very, very important in storytelling is like being able to sell the idea of a new world and people love it. Right. Mm-hmm. That's like Elysium, right? Elysium, like I got lost in that movie.
Yeah.
But then again, like I'm a really big fan of like that kind of shit. Like what is it? Live, Die, Repeat with Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
What was the other name? Die Again Tomorrow or something like that?
No. Something Tomorrow. War of Tomorrow. I can't remember what it was.
You know what I'm talking about.
I do know.
That movie is probably one of my favorite movies ever. I think it's probably one of the best fucking franchise.
Edge of Tomorrow.
Edge of Tomorrow. I think that's one of the best.
I love that movie.
Dude, that movie, I could see that movie over and over again.
I think that was the first time. I think that was probably the first time I've ever seen Emily Blunt, and she was amazing.
She knocked it out of the park.
Yeah, she knocked it out of the park.
And you see, this is what fucking confuses me, man. Is her fucking character was amazing.
Yeah.
A badass female heroine, probably one of the best, well-written, original fucking female characters in a long goddamn time. And yes, it did have reminiscence of the Sarah Connor character from Terminator, but she fucking made it her own. Yeah, I think she was like, what was she known as? The baddest bitch?
Yeah.
Or something like that. They had posters of her as the baddest bitch. And I was like, God, I'm in love. I don't know why, but I'm in love. This is so amazing. Like that whole vibe of her character just was everything to me. And I mean, yeah, like Tom Cruise, like he's had some hit or misses in the last couple of years. Yeah. But boy, did he knock that out of the fucking park.
And you know what's crazy is that I don't remember that movie getting a lot of buzz back in the day.
No, I didn't.
But like when I finally watched it, I'm like, yo, this is a fucking amazing movie, dude.
It slaps, man. That movie claps cheeks, dude. Claps all the cheeks. If you really think about it, you go back to that day, you go back to that movie. That movie revolutionized a lot of that whole like futuristic shit. Yeah. And not only that, this goes back to what you've heard me complain about in comic books and films and shit like that, is that a lot of these people do not do time traveling right. Mm-hmm. That movie did it fucking phenomenally. I was man, it's so blown away. And it's such a great story because it all like when it comes to writing a coherent story with time travel, if you get all the way to the end of the story and it's got traveling in it and then it resets itself to where it didn't even matter, most of the time when you read that and you're doing that shit, at the very end, you just feel so like miserable as an audience member because you're like, God, dude, I sat through this whole movie and for what? But at the ending of that movie, you did not feel that way. You were 100% like, yes, he saved the day. Yeah, that was awesome. Because it coherently made so much sense. And it was so fucking confusing at first.
It was. Yeah, but it got there. So it got so there. But the Halo series, though, what were your initial thoughts about it, man? What did you think?
So first, being that I build cosplay.
You were just like,
I was fucking hard the entire time, dude. I was hard. Sorry, the entire time. And it's not even in the fact that his Halo suit is cool, flowing because I've seen, the Halo Master Chief costume has been so prominent throughout fucking cosplay throughout several years. Yeah, but seeing this dude like run, slide, fucking spin around, backflip, and do shit, I was like, yo, how? I've worn that shit and I could barely walk in that goddamn thing. How is this guy running and fucking dodging punches and shit? God damn, it looked good. Like, it looked fucking phenomenal. And I don't know if anybody remembers this, but like back in the day, about Halo 3, maybe ODST times, there was a whole release of trailers online to sell for the game. And they had a bunch of phenomenal like action sequences in live action. Like they had a Warthog, fucking Needler. They had like brutes come out hitting like soldiers and shit. It was spectacular. If you have a chance, you got to go back and watch all of those videos. You'll be blown away by it. And you'll deep down inside, you're going to be like, oh shit, like why didn't they just make this back then? And what's crazy, and this is why I think this is going to be a fucking knockout of the park, is because they've been sitting on this idea for so fucking long. Yeah. For some reason, I don't even know why, but I think, okay, so there wasn't a lot of push for Halo in part 5, I want to say. Okay. That was the one where Master Chief gets his team and they go to space and they're trying to stop Master Chief and Cortana from getting back together and all this other stuff. For some reason, I think the movie was supposed to make that make sense because there wasn't a big calling on the storyline of that story. Like there was a lot of it that was kind of like, it felt like rushed. And that's kind of what it was. It just felt like a rushed game. And a lot of people didn't take it, like they didn't take it well. Yeah. For it being a Halo series game, they expected, the Metal Gear Solid treatment. They expected the big cinematics and all that stuff, and they didn't really get it, only in several parts. And I feel like this film is going to kind of bridge all of that together. One thing that I'm not really happy for is I think Cortana looks all Dollar General, man.
I was gonna say, I'm while you were talking right now, I just rewatched it again.
You're like, no, I gotta watch this bitch again.
Yeah, no, because I like it, and there's one thing that alarms me about this trailer, Cortana. And I'm gonna tell you, there is no. There's one actor.
Was it like that Omar Epps guy, like the black dude?
His name is Bokeem something.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Is that what kind of worries you? Because he's always in like fucking C movies, dude.
Dude, you took the words right out of your fucking mouth, dude.
Yeah,
like that is the only thing. And I love him. I love him.
Yeah, he does.
He's always in fucking. Yeah. He's always in some movie. Yeah. But that's the only thing that alarms me about this show is that he's in it. and it's usually like you say, like a C series, or
Yeah,
a
C at
C
best, dude.
movie, and I just don't want that to be the case here. But yes,
It's literally Nicolas Cage, dude.
I do know your reservations about Cortana, and
I mean,
listen,
it's
I'm
kind of
gonna give it.
nitpicky too.
I'm gonna give it a shot. I'm gonna give it a shot. And do you know how many episodes? It hasn't been said, right? How many episodes?
No, I really don't know in the sense of what they're looking at for a time, like a length of episodes or anything like that. What I was trying to figure out is what part of the storyline this consists of.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
it looks like it's part of like the old school team and the new school team mixed, which is the team from part 5
Okay.
and the team from part 3. You know what I'm talking about? Like they have like the big gunner, but the thing is all the guys in part 3 die.
Okay.
And then of
So
course,
originally this show was supposed to have 10 episodes, and it was cut
nice.
down to 9. So you're gonna get 9
Yeah,
episodes of this Halo series.
As long as it's not like Boba Fett, man, I'll fucking say that much.
We'll get there.
Yeah, we're gonna fucking
Don't rush us. We'll get there.
Fucking 9 episodes well spent, man. If you fucking
Word. But yeah, man. I mean, honestly, this trailer was pretty dope. I just don't want to get trailer fished into thinking that it's something that it's not. But man,
I mean, there's a part of me
that's trailer, dude.
Yeah, there's a part of me that wants to be reserved, because of the fact that like we've gotten it several times, where we get these amazing trailers and then the show doesn't open up very well and it doesn't maintain. But I do believe this is Paramount's first time putting something big out there like this, right?
And
like
the production looks movie quality.
Wow, dude, it looks really wow.
It looks like a movie. So yeah, like just for that alone, I'll watch it.
Yeah, it looks pretty good. But like I said, like the only thing I'm kind of reserved on and I'm kind of taken back is the voice of Master Chief doesn't sound like the voice of Master Chief in the game, which kind of sucks. But I'm not gonna let it like break my heart. Because
I love the guy that does Master Chief. The guy that does Master Chief, the guy that does Master Chief, he's the same guy that does the EA Sports thing. The EA Sports. It's in the game. Yeah. He's Master Chief.
That's Master Chief. Well, imagine it being, and this is what I keep telling people. This is where it hits me, because this is where you respect voice actors for what they do. Imagine them replacing the guy that does Kratos' voice in God of War.
Oh, forget about it.
Exactly. Like there is a breaking point, even though it's like, okay, cool. Like he can't be the only man with that type of voice.
Yeah.
But you'll just know. And that's kind of like the vibe. Like Master Chief is literally known for his suit and his voice. When he's like Cortana, let's go, or whatever. He always like, and the moment like the decibel changes, like where there's less bass and more treble or whatnot, you'll really hear it.
You take it out of it.
Yeah, it'll take you out a little bit. Maybe you feel like he's a little bit younger. What I do hope for, and this is crazy, is I do really hope that they do like an origin story, or at least like a dive a little bit into a couple episodes of like what created
this. Seems like it's going full blast.
I really want them to. I really want. There's been several iterations of them doing like Halo shows, more based on like smaller characters without Master Chief. But like, if they really, really pull this off with a great Master Chief story, I would really like to see like, I really want to say, okay, so there was the ODST situation, right? I don't know if you remember. There's been 2 teams. It was always the Spartans and then ODST, which is like the regular soldiers. Yeah. And then there's of course the Spartans, who are like these children that are picked from orphanages or taken from their families or whatnot. They're done all of these crazy experiments on to be like super soldiers.
Right. Yeah.
Well, there's this one part where some ODST guys are picking on like a 13-year-old kid who's like already fucking full grown man, dude, like just balls deep. And they're lifting weights and the ODST guys are like, whatever, freak or whatever. So the fucking dude beats the fuck out of him to death.
Yeah.
Like he just beats the shit out of him. So that's why there's always been this animosity between ODST and the Halo Spartans or whatever. Like I want that. I want to see that live action. I want to see a fucking 8-foot tall 13-year-old beat the shit out of 2 fucking full-grown 6'5" dudes. You know, I need that in my fucking.
I don't know, but I don't know if you'll get that in this season.
No, maybe like in the second season.
Yeah, ultimately, I think.
Can you imagine if like the first season was dedicated to like the Master Chief and like him with his squad going after Cortana, a little bit of like based off of the video game,
Yeah.
And then like later on, it brings in like a little bit side story with ODST guys. They have their animosity. And then in season 2, it's like ODST versus Spartans.
But yeah, I
That
can
that
see
kind of
that.
like build. I really
can
want
definitely see
so my big thing is I really want like a rich series.
Mhm.
If I am not gonna get a full length feature film for Halo, give me a rich fucking series, a rich long series. You know,
I
look at
think you're gonna
Cobra
get
Kai.
honestly, I think you're gonna get a blend of both. With that production, dude, you can't have too much. You can't have with that kind of production. I can't see how you're gonna have 70% monologue and 30% action.
Yeah, you
That's
can.
gonna be a lot of action, dude.
Yeah, that's gonna be a hell of a lot of action.
It's
That's
gonna
what
be
we
a
want.
lot of action, dude.
That's what we want.
Yeah.
In the process of it, by chance. So we know this guy's in the movie, right? The C-list actor guy. Who would be someone that you would want to see in this as an actor? It's a good question. It's a solid question. There's always got to be that one actor that we really get in there.
I don't know, man.
You know
Again,
who I would really like to see in it?
I'm not as involved in Halo as you are because again, like I'm a PlayStation player, so I really never got into the lore of Halo. But I mean, shit, man, it kind of does give you the Edge of Tomorrow vibe. Why not put Tom Cruise in the shit somewhere? So I'm like,
You know what? As a
why
matter of
not?
fact, I was thinking Idris Elba,
Okay,
and that's because of
he
the
would do
fact that
well in this type of shit.
because of that fucking what was that movie? The one with the Jaegers, the big ass robots, the kaiju and all that shit. What was it Pacific Rim?
Pacific Rim. Okay,
Yeah. I think he was in what parts? No, he was in part 1, right?
He's in one, right? I think.
Yeah. His whole fucking shtick about him being like the head leader and raising the little Asian girl, like I was all about him in a big ass muscle suit, and then he came out in Suicide Squad wearing like some badass armor. I mean, you put that dude in any futuristic movie in a
You
fucking
put him in anything.
anything, he's a fucking G, dude.
Yeah,
He is a G. Yeah, I'm 100% seeing Idris Elba in a fucking Halo movie. I don't even care what that dude. If they make him the fucking what was the colonel in the first one, the black dude that's always with him, the what's up, Master Chief?
Yeah. I know you're talking about. Yeah,
The crazy thing is, there's a side story to that dude too. That he was like one of the first iterations of a Spartan. That's why he can't die in the game.
Mhm.
Like you can kill anyone else, you just can't kill him.
Yeah,
That's because he was supposed to be like all that stuff. But man, that would be so fucking G. That would be so G. But you say Tom Cruise?
yeah. Why
What
not?
about-
I mean, it
what about-
definitely. I mean, watching that trailer, it gives me and like you pointed out,
Edge of Tomorrow.
it gives me a lot of Edge of Tomorrow vibes. So why not? Why not?
Yeah, straight up. I see that. Even what about fucking our favorite Dave Bautista, man?
Listen, I'm not as hard on Dave Bautista as you. You
Super hard on him, man.
Yeah, you're very
You
hard.
can play a tree in the background, I still fucking cancel it.
I think this is the type of movie where Dave Bautista thrives. You don't like again.
Yeah, like action movies and stuff like that.
Yeah, if you don't give him that much to say and just give him more action, he might be able to thrive in this type of movie.
For what it's worth.
What was the
zombie movie.
the RZA movie, the man with the iron?
Oh, dude, Man with the Iron Fist?
Yeah.
Yo,
I'm telling you.
What do you know about that?
Dave Bautista wasn't he didn't
was
annoy
he,
me.
the Steel Tiger or the Iron Tiger?
Yeah, he didn't annoy me in that movie.
Nah, he was good. Yeah, he was good. Man with the Iron Fist.
Zero lines. He had 0 lines, and he just fought. He basically just beating people the fuck up.
You know what's crazy? I don't know if you knew this, but Man with the Iron Fist is highly resembling of Ninja Scroll, the anime. If you go back and you watch Ninja Scroll, you'll see like, oh shit, like I can see where all the P's and Q's are that RZA took ideas from. It's a good fucking rendition. Good rendition. Yeah, everybody did an amazing job in that movie. I think I got shit on a lot during that time, but people just don't know.
I liked it.
Yeah,
I watched it multiple
shit out
times,
of it.
to be honest with you.
It's because they don't know the fucking they don't know the culture of that shit.
Yeah.
They don't get it. They don't get it. Fuck those people. Fuck
Yeah.
them. But it was good. You guys go back, everybody in the comments, watch The Man with the Iron Fist. You come back next week and tell me you love us. But yeah. So yeah, what do we think, man? Halo series is gonna be a pro or a con? Thumbs up or thumbs down?
Thumbs up.
Boom, all the way up. I think it's gonna be an amazing show. Can't wait for it to come out. I think it's gonna be good. Do we have anything on like a release date or maybe like a call out for a year?
I know, no, I don't have a release date. It just says it's gonna be released this year, obviously, because we got the trailer. But I don't know. Oh, wait. Episode 1 is slated for March 24th,
There we go.
2000.
March 24th, 2022.
That will be the first episode.
Excellent, excellent. So we're looking at a March release, guys. So guys, be prepared. Halo, you know for sure we're gonna be talking about that shit when it comes out. Boom, someone's gonna spend money on Paramount Plus. I don't even know how to get that streaming service. I don't know what kidney or nut I gotta sell to get it, but I'm gonna get it. Hell yeah. Shout out to the guys in the comments, Vince, Edward. Thank you for jumping in. Michael Betancourt, shout out, my dude. Make sure, Michael, you put in the comments about Mighty Morphin Mania. I want people to know what's going on. We have a bunch of cool ass Power Rangers coming to the valley, and they're gonna come save this place. You guys better be prepared, man. We're fucking super excited to have them down. George, shout out to you too, man. Thank you for jumping in the comments, everybody that's out there. Thank you so much. Onwards to the next conversation.
Let's go.
And probably one of the closer part of the conversation that we're going to be talking about later on, because me and Brian certainly do have a tremendous amount of talking points to talk about the Book of Boba today. I think by now, knowing that we have one more episode,
one more,
I think it deserves the opportunity for us to really do like a good deep dive on the series.
Yeah.
Give it more than the 40 minutes, 20 minutes that we have been going at the last ending of the show. I think it really deserves, especially with this last episode. I think a lot of people want to talk about it too.
Yeah, I want a lot of engagement from anyone that's listening, anyone that's watching. I want a lot of engagement on what you guys thought of that last episode, like starting now. We're not even going to get into it like right now, but I want to know what you guys thought about it. But let's go, Chris.
But of course, with the talks of Star Wars, I wanted to get into this conversation, and it's something that we brought up on the show a lot before.
Yep.
And that's the idea of one of the most major concerns for all fans throughout the entire Star Wars series has been, what about the Knights of Ren?
Mm-hmm.
I think like 2 weeks ago on the show, we got hit with this amazing video of a Disney Plus release show that was going to be called The Knights of Ren. And I want to say, just as much as everybody else out there, that I was super fucking excited. I was really, really fucking excited. Brian, if I'm not mistaken, you're the one that found the video, or who found the video?
I think I did, yeah.
Shit, I think it was you that found it. And you were like, dudes, guys, you need to see this shit.
Yeah.
And yeah, you put it on, and I was 100% blown. I saw it like 50 times, like before lunch.
He said before lunch.
I was trying to break that shit down so hard from a computer that doesn't have my equipment.
Yeah.
And I was super blown away by it. And I think it was the desire to know that the Star Wars fan in me wants more Knights of Ren.
Yeah.
And I think that's pretty much for a lot of people that have been following the series, watched the last trilogies. I think that's pretty much the thing that we've been trying to get at.
Mm-hmm.
So apparently what happened this past week was, on one of the creators of the Knights of Ren, one of the people that created the character designs and all this stuff, there was a really big Twitter battle that was going on online on his Facebook. And there was two people that were talking about on his Twitter, that there's not enough information about the characters.
Okay.
And in that process, the guy came out and said, well, you need to read Vader. I think it was, here, I'll find it real quick. He said, that's because you need to read the Crimson Reign number 4 in Star Wars number 25. Yeah. He brought out some shit, right? He really called out some stuff. And then from there, he went off and said, we'll be getting the band back together soon, which was a really big nod to everybody saying, it looks like the Knights of Ren is going to be getting some kind of iteration in the comics.
Yeah.
Right. So it looks like the Knights of Ren may be getting a comic book series coming. How do we feel about this? Brian, how do you feel? People in the comments also, how do you feel about this?
I'm kind of torn.
Okay.
Because I'm kind of conditioned to where after seeing that trailer that was fan made, like we can probably all say that trailer was fan made. After seeing that, I want to see a show, dude. Like it's cool that we're gonna get, an arc in the comics, but I want to see that in live action.
That's probably 100% what I'm behind too, man.
I want to see that in live action, dude.
I mean,
like you don't even have to give me the comics, to be honest with you. You can just give me a live action and I'll be fine.
like it's good because we're excited. I mean, we're
Exactly.
excited because I think it's a deserved conversation to finally get some backstory to what is it that Kylo Ren was so up about, and everybody was like, "Whoa, this guy's the master of these dudes." They fucking ran a Starbucks or something. That's all I know.
And
Like, I
don't
don't know
send me the
anything about these
fucking
dudes.
2 issues of the
Yeah,
Crimson Reign #4 in Star
yeah.
Wars 25. Dude, like that's 2 issues. That's not gonna tell me what I want to know.
And it's so crazy. Like anybody out in the comments that's out there, are any of you at all subscribed to any Star Wars comic books? Like to even think about what's going on. I would assume Michael Bedencourt would probably be one of them that would at least be into the comic book series at the time. But the like he's the guy. He's the dude. Michael Bedencourt's the guy. I know he is.
Yeah.
But I don't really feel it. And that's because of myself. Like I'm a super big fan of the fucking Star Wars series. But I don't subscribe to any of the comic books. Rarely.
That's a fucking great point. What Michael's
What
saying.
Mike said? Yeah, I'm telling
Yeah.
you, man, the dude's a G.
No, that's a great point because it's like before we even toss around the idea of giving you a show, let's put it out in the comics and see how many people are really interested in this shit.
I mean,
And if
that
there's
would make a
enough, and
lot of
if
sense.
there's enough people that are interested in this, then we'll give you a show. But see, like that doesn't work out for me because like I'm not gonna run to the comics to fucking read about this shit. I
Yeah, that's
want
the
the
problem.
show
If you're
now.
not subscribed to some type of comic book or in that genre of getting informational source, like if you're not sourcing your material out that way, that's not a strong enough moment in my life to be like, this is the moment.
Yeah.
Right now is the moment. Oh, cut Knights of Ren. That's it. That's what's gonna push me to go buy fucking a $7 comic book because comic
Yeah.
book prices have gone up in the last several years.
Inflation,
So
kid.
yeah, well, yeah, fuck yeah, inflation. But it's one of those things like, why am I going to spend $7 on a story I don't even know about?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, if they brought it out like a omnibus, right? Like a big, thick story already done, like a season already done. And they gave it to me like, hey, here you go. I know we didn't give this to you in the comics or in the story in the movie. We apologize.
Yeah.
Here is the story of the Knights of Ren. Now, if you dig it, we're going to release a series.
Yeah.
And that's the way I feel. I think that this is gonna be a really big talking point for the moment. Yeah. Do we subscribe to the idea of companies, franchises like this choosing to leave out major plot points and stories only to be revealed in the comic books, which no one cares about? And I'm not going to say no one because I do understand that there is a genre, there is a crowd or a large part of the fan base that does subscribe to this. But the majority of people that are out there that are watching these films do not. And it's cool. It's cool if they don't.
I think it depends. I think which storyline we're talking about, which parts we're only leaving in comics for you to learn. Listen, I'm be honest with you, and I'll be honest with everyone in the comments. I have read 0 Star Wars comics and 0 Star Wars novels in my life. 0. And I don't feel like I'm missing out on anything. You know why?
You hear it throughout the fan base. I mean,
I hear it throughout the fan
we've said
base.
it so many times at the Star
I
Wars
watch. Listen, I watch the movies and I play the video games.
Mm-hmm.
And I watch the animated series. So what am I missing? What am I missing in the comics besides simple details that get washed out in the shows and the animated series and the games? If you think about it, you're not really missing out on anything by reading the comics or the novels.
Well, I mean,
anything
I'll iterate.
anything that actually is substantial to the storylines that we're following in live action right now.
No, that would be like okay, so we did see the first trilogy, right? Or not the first trilogy, but the Rey trilogy.
Yeah.
Right. It would be reminiscent to how the old lady got the lightsaber in the first place.
Okay.
Like it's never really explained how she acquired the lightsaber.
Okay. Now, do I need to read the comics to, being that they don't hone in on that aspect. They don't make that
Because it's more like an
a
Easter egg,
thing.
right?
Exactly. It's they don't elaborate on it, or they don't hone in on that, so they're not making it a point for you to even give a fuck about it that much.
But that's
So
the
I don't.
thing. Like, does it not matter because when you watch the film, it's already comes to fruition, and you're like, oh fuck, I didn't know that. Well, cool. Anyways,
No, it's just because it's gonna take up more time than what they have, and they're not gonna hearken on it. They're not gonna put a magnifying glass on it. If you read the comics, cool. That's a cool. That's a cool Easter egg for you.
yeah.
But that's not going to not turn away, but put the people that are watching this movie or watching this animated series, that's not going to make them
Oh,
lost.
it's not going to shun them or nothing like that. It's just
Exactly.
going to excite them because they're getting new shit.
So
right?
if that's the case, where they're not putting me in that situation, why run to the comics? If they're protecting me as a avid fan that just doesn't read the comics, if they're protecting me in that sense, why run to the comics?
Well, I mean, I guess that's the easiest way to explain how it could really like hinder the fan would be the situation that happened in this past episode with the surprise cameo in the desert. That could hinder a fan tremendously.
But how? If you watch the animated series,
but you'd have to subscribe to the animated series.
But as I'm saying,
had to have.
But see, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm accounting when I say that I'm watching or I'm a fan, I'm accounting for the animated series and the movies and the games.
Okay,
we're talking specifically for the comics that were the Knights of Ren in the comics and what's leading up to this point in the conversation.
What
I told
about,
you, I don't watch.
What's his face? What about the Wookiee guy?
Oh, Chris Hansen,
yeah.
They don't make it, and again, they're delivering it to you in a way where they're not making you feel like an asshole for not knowing who it is.
I mean, yeah. There is
no
right?
one knew who that was. If we were going by the comics, Boba Fett and Chrysanthemum, they know each other.
Yeah.
So
or they knew of each other, right?
They knew of each other.
Yeah.
In this iteration in the show, they don't know each other. So
the thing is
they're protecting.
I think it's kind of like a nod and cheeky, like a cheek and nod.
Again, it's like a Easter egg, but at the same time, they're not making you as the watcher feel like an asshole for not knowing
it.
For not knowing. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
They're protecting the people that don't read the comics and not feeling like an asshole, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, but if you did read the comic books, then you do know the worth of the character.
I would get a slight chub.
Yeah, because
I would get a slight chub. I get
what they did with him in the show, you ain't getting shit.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so I mean, that's me. That's kind of like, I don't know, man. I think it's a double-edged sword, right?
Me too. There it is.
Yeah. I mean, that's probably the easiest way to do it because I think it's cool. I like the Easter egg funnies. I like the fact that you could read a little bit and it gives you a little bit of the story.
Yeah.
But there is situations that happen, which is like the situation with the Mandalorian's lightsaber, right? The dark saber or whatever.
Yeah.
The dark saber, like how it ended up and who really deserves it and who owns it or whatever. Yeah. Right. That's a pretty big backstory. Then what happened in the last episode with the one of the objects that's kind of shown. We were talking about it earlier, how it kind of there's a different path for it in the comics.
Yeah. And
now that it's in the story, it kind of it hurts it a little bit.
But the darksaber was flushed out in the animated series. So again, as a fan, if I'm watching the animated series, Clone Wars and Rebels.
Yeah.
And I'm watching the shows, I'm watching the movies. I'm not missing anything from the comics, dude.
No. But my thing is like
the darksaber was flushed out in the animated series.
Well, the thing is what was cool in the last episode of Boba Fett, they fleshed it out pretty well because the Forge chick, right? I forget her name. The Forger. I just want to call her the Forger.
Oh,
the armor maker.
The armorer.
Armor. She literally goes and states like everywhere the saber's been.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, it was given here, but it was won incorrectly and this and that, and kind of broke it down into the whole pathway of what it was, which was literally laid out everywhere from the Rebels from the Clone Wars to the Rebels.
To Rebels,
Which was the biggest argument that everybody had because they were like, oh shit, like Obi-Wan is supposed to have it and it's Darth Maul's and they didn't even get it right because the chick stole it. And she even straight blatantly says it. Oh, Bo-Katan got it, but she got it ill-received because it was given to her as a gift from someone else, from Sabine Wren or something. So they kind of fleshed it out, which was really good. But of course, there's, you know, in the last episode, there was something that was brought to the attention, which was fleshed out in the comic books, but now they have to explain this shit. Because now they either have to say the comic book isn't canon,
what?
But they want you to follow it. Well, we're going to talk about that when we get to the Boba Fett episode.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, does it help it when it doesn't correlate with the future endeavors of the show? Or is it worse because it's almost like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. to the Marvel universe? It's almost here or there, and when they don't need it, they throw it away.
I don't think it's that what's the word that I'm looking for? I don't think that it's that serious. I don't think that it's that deep, to be honest with you. Again, Filoni and Favreau, they'll throw you Easter eggs if you are Black.
They know their shit.
Black Chrysanthemum was a tip of the nod to anyone that reads the comics, but they don't introduce him in a way where he's already established and it makes you feel like an asshole for not knowing. You know what I'm saying? They're protecting you in that sense. So it's like, I love that part. I love that shit. So I don't need to necessarily rush to no one reads the comics, dude. Let's just call it spade a spade. No one reads that shit. No one reads the shit. Maybe Michael does, but no one reads that shit. So it's
Michael,
like,
no hate on Michael.
No, I'm not hating on him, but I'm like, he's probably the only one that is like into the comics. Like, I don't know anyone that's into the Star Wars comics, and
there was a moment.
There's no hate to Michael, but I mean, I don't read that shit.
There was a moment that I was kind of getting into the Darth Vader series, because it was right after, I want to say, Rogue One, and they started kind of like, hey, you know what, we're gonna build on the Darth Vader story, and they were kind of doing the whole spiritual endeavor where the parts of him that were machine were the dark side, and whatever human part of his body was still around was kind of like showcased that still was Anakin.
Yeah. And
then they brought in this idea of how he was able to build a temple on Mustafar, like how he was instilled. And then I think what they were trying to do is they were trying to place the seed for the idea of that Darth Vader's helmet could talk to Kylo Ren.
Okay.
And the reason why I say that is because they brought in a Sith guy who Darth Vader found his helmet, and then he would be able to possess people if they put his helmet on. And he would actually come back and do this stuff. He was the guy, the architect of the castle on Mustafar. I think they were just kind of doing that to sell off the idea that that's how Darth Vader was able to talk to Kylo Ren and put things in his head and make him come to the dark side. And that whole, like, him looking at the helmet and being like, oh, grandfather, I know your plan and thank you for telling me, and all this other shit, right?
Yeah.
I think that's what they were trying to use the comic book for. And then they got really lost because they made it where he was able to meet what's her face, Padme again, like in the afterlife. But she was like, I'm super disappointed in, you're a piece of shit, you're a bad father or whatever. And then he was brokenhearted. Oh, I'm the fucking dark side now. And I don't know. They made it real emo, and it didn't make a lot of sense. And then after that, the show just lost complete interest. The whole fucking Darth Vader series lost interest. Yeah. And then, of course, they went off with different series and blah, blah, blah. Like, I fell out of it. I just don't see a lot of people jumping into the Star Wars comic books because the Knights of Ren are going to be coming out in it. I would have preferred maybe if they would have done like a Knights of Ren as they did Cal Kestis' story.
Like,
if they would make it into a video game.
Ooh.
You know what I mean? Like if they were to subscribe to that type of idea, I think for some reason, Star Wars
Ren as a game.
Yeah. Because the whole thing consists of the character of Ren, like how he becomes like this leader of this Alkalite group, which I mean, we could literally be getting that story in the Alkalite series for all we know.
I thought it was shelved though.
I think it's one of those. I think it's going to be, they're going to kind of push more on it towards the ending of Obi.
Okay.
because Obi's gonna be like the latest iteration of Star Wars shows after Ahsoka Tano,
Okay.
and then it'll get into what Andor or what was the other one that was it? I don't
There's
know. There was a bunch of them that came out. Remember all the lists?
Squadron. I know Squadron is shelved.
Mm-hmm. Oh shit! Really?
We're not getting a Squadron, which I love that game, by the way. Squadron game is one of my
that
favorite
was
Star
pretty
Wars
good.
games. But I think Squadron got shelved. Obviously, the Cara Dune, right? That one got
Cara
shelved.
Dune
There was another one that got shelved as well, and I think it was one of those ones that you said.
Yo, I don't know if you heard about this today or maybe in the last couple of days, but they just shelved the reboot for the Boondocks.
Get the fuck. We were just
Yeah,
talking
I'm
about
not
it.
even fucking kidding. Cletus, Celius. I don't know. One of the actors came out and was like, "Yeah, it's been shelved. We're not gonna do it."
Oh shit, that sucks.
Ah, that blows, dude.
I don't know how they were gonna do it anyway without John Witherspoon as grandpa. Like I didn't or granddad. I didn't know how they were gonna do that anyway. And then now with Regina King and the death of her child, like I don't see how that was gonna happen anyway.
Yeah,
A lot of shit's fucked up over
there's
there.
a lot. I mean, life's just all fucked up right now, man.
Yeah, there's a lot of shit that's fucked up over there.
Yeah, but I just heard that today, and I was like, I didn't know if you'd heard, but
I did not
sucks,
know.
dude.
I did not.
That
Yeah.
sucks. I'm a real big fan myself. I want
And that is an anime, sir.
Yeah. I mean, I see it. I'll see it. I just myself, I have my reserve because I feel like anime is like a.
They're black. Is it
if
because
you
they're
do
black?
K-pop
Is
in
it because they're
America-
black? No, it's because they're black. There's the reason why.
If you do K-pop in America, does that still mean you're a Korean pop artist?
Yeah. I mean,
You get me, right? Like, there's
do.
got to be like, I mean, that's just what it is. I think anime is a style created in the East. Yeah, in the East.
It's in the
And
East.
I think that name of genre is dedicated to that style.
Yeah.
And I think other people can substitute it or get inspiration from it.
Yeah.
But that shouldn't automatically assume that automatically gets
Call
the
it
title
as
because it's
that.
and that's just really it is. Dude, I am fucking for the Boondocks. I love that cartoon. But again, it's one of those things like it would and that's the big argument right now with the K-pop community. Because if anybody ever started a K-pop group out of America, would they be considered K-pop or would it just be an American pop band inspired by Koreans?
Why would you call it K?
Unless
Damn. I guess you can call it K-pop because I mean, that's dicey. It's dicey.
Yeah, it's not like an insult.
It's not black and white. It's not like
it's not like an insult to the fucking people. Like shout on them if they can produce something that's just as well. I think K-pop, I mean, it's flourishing like crazy right now. So
if you gathered 5 Korean artists from America, born in America, and you made them, and you created a band and made K-pop-esque music, that's K-pop, dude.
But then again, then this is also to that point. You have the group Blackpink, right?
Mm-hmm.
The group Blackpink has one person in it, Lisa. I think her name's Lalisa, Lisa. She's Thai. She's not even Korean.
So what? Are the rest of them Korean?
The other 3 girls are. And there was a lot of scrutiny in the very beginning when the group was created. A lot of people didn't like that she was not full Korean. But that's the thing. That's that culture. And I get it. That's their thing. Yeah. But the thing is now she's super highly, accepted by the community. She's a huge superstar in the K-pop world. But, she took a lot of scrutiny in the very beginning. But, of course, she carried herself and, maintained and eventually got it, man. Eventually got accepted and all this other stuff. But like that could kind of show like the K-pop doesn't necessarily mean that it has to be based on just Korean. It should be able to be open if it's a genre of music.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, the other thing was that K-pop has stolen a lot of culture vulture shit from like the African American music making community. You look at rap, you look at hip hop, you look at all this stuff. There was even a big thing about them like braiding their hair and dreading.
That's not anything new. Rap and hip hop culture is the most
inspiring.
It's most appropriated and stolen genre of music of all time. Vince, I don't want 15 episodes of anything, by the way.
That's a whole ass movie, man. Just
do not give me 15 episodes of anything. I'm gonna check out by episode 8.
Yo, that's
You
a
got
whole
you
ass
got
movie, man. It's just
you
telling me
got
a whole ass movie.
you got probably 9 in me, and then I'm
15
checking
episodes
out.
is like the Zack Snyder Justice League of series, man.
Seriously, don't give me 15 episodes of anything. I don't care what genre or what series it is. Don't give it to me.
Well, you see, that's a good question. Vince, of course, always comes up with these random cool questions. K-pop or Backstreet Boys? That's the thing. Like Backstreet Boys
No,
would have been the K-pop of that genre back in the
no, they
day.
were. I mean,
Yeah,
they.
that's
I
where
mean,
they got
it's,
inspiration from the beginning, man.
I was gonna say, where do you think K-pop got their shit from?
Yeah, yeah.
And Backstreet Boys got their shit from like the Jackson 5, and like it's just regurgitated shit over and over and over again, just repackaged into whatever the fuck the times calls for. But
You see, Mike puts one out there too, and he put, I think it's technically that doesn't hold up. If a group of guys from Texas made a norteño group, then they would still be a norteño group, even if they aren't northern Mexico, because norteño music is a genre,
okay,
because it's considered a genre. So K-pop to a lot of people is considered a genre. It has
so
its own genre.
so norteño would, I'm just assuming, means that it's a group of North Texan singers.
Well, Mexico.
Correct?
It's northern Mexico,
I'm sorry, northern Mexican singers, correct?
which would be southern Texas.
So let's say you get 5 singers that their parents came from there. So technically they are
Northern, yeah.
norteño,
Mhm.
but they live in California. You put 5 of them together, you make norteño music. What do you call it?
But yeah, I mean, you would, because it's a genre, right?
So it's the same shit.
That's what we say. That's what I would say.
It's
In
the
fact,
same
I
thing.
mean, in music, contests or whatever that shit that they do on TV, where hey, let me give you an award or whatever. They have a K-pop, fucking a K-pop
Band.
genre.
Okay.
Does that mean only Koreans can compete in that genre? Like, is it only stationed for just Koreans?
I think that there are some critical points that had to be met. I mean, and just saying it out loud, it sounds dumb. But I mean, like if you have to be Korean, number one, right? Like in order for you to make, but then like where's the line drawn there? I can't make K-pop.
You see what I'm talking about, right?
But what if it's in this style of K-pop?
What's inspired by K-pop?
Can Little Nas X not make country because he's from Detroit or wherever the fuck he's from?
And he's not from the country? I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know how to look at it.
The world may never know. Yeah, I'm just saying.
Yeah, the world may never know. But going back, do we think the Knights of Ren storyline should be done in a comic book series, or should it be done in a different type of media?
You can do it in a comic book series. I don't care. It hasn't stopped them at all ever. So do it in the comics. But I mean, at some point, do it in the series and I'll watch it. You do it in the comic book, I'm probably not gonna watch it. I'm probably not gonna
subscribe to it.
Probably not gonna check it out. But if you put it in a show or a movie, I'll probably check it out.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely correct. I think if they do it in a comic book series, I think sooner or later we'll get some kind of gist of it. I think sooner or later someone will give some kind of.
Give it to me in a video game. You give it to me where I'm interacting. I honestly, out of all of the scenarios that we've named, I actually would rather it be a video game. The Knights of Ren video game would slap, dude.
Oh, I think so too. I think in the last couple of years, Star Wars and EA have been doing an amazing job with the video games that they've been releasing.
Kidding me, bro. I would.
I don't think they can go wrong. And you know what? And I think Star Wars does need more original titles in Star Wars gaming. I think they do. Battlefront is cool and all, but that doesn't work for me anymore. I think
I could still play Battlefront today.
Yeah, everybody can play Battlefront, but they can't play Battlefield. Come on. Nah, but like the Cal Custis game, man. What's it called? The one that you like?
Battlefront.
No. The other one with the dude. The one that you and Trigger always talk about. The Star Wars game with this kid. The one from Order 66.
The one
you guys are always talking about. You're always talking about that game that came out like last year. Fallen Order.
Oh, Fallen Order.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Mike. Yeah, you're talking about Fallen Order, man. I think in that kind of format, I think right now it'd be very successful because a lot of games lack that storytelling and they always go for the multiplayer.
Yeah.
I think having another Star Wars game, iterating into the darker kind of vibe, like man, it could even go like with a really really heavy Dark Souls, where it's all Knights of Ren, real dark and
Yeah.
like a mysterious, very Geiger, which is that dude
And
they used
there,
to
and
make
so
for
the
aliens.
greatest part about like a game is that you don't have those parameters like you're talking about. Like you can't, like if you want to go on Disney Plus, you're kind of
Yeah,
limited
you're held
to
back.
how far you can
Yeah, you
go.
got limitations and
If
stuff.
you're in a video game, you can go balls to
Fucking
the wall.
sky's the
You
limit.
can do what the fuck you want. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think it'd be good if they went that direction for the Knights of Ren. I think it would be really good. The Mandalorian video game. I think the Mandalorian's already been covered very fucking well.
I would still play the fuck out of that game. Are you kidding me? You give
Yeah.
me a Mando video game, I'm locking in my house for a
You can
month.
put Boba Fett in fucking Mario Kart, and he'd still lose. He'd still get 8th place, man. Fucking.
I mean, we're already here, dude.
Yeah, let's jump into it. Okay,
We're already
boys.
here,
So,
man.
what we want to do is we wanted to give more time to the Boba Fett series. I think it's a really great talking point. I think a lot of people have a lot of comments.
I
a
want
lot of
more
talking about it.
engagement. I want more engagement from our fucking commenters.
Yeah,
Like, I
yeah,
want to
yeah.
know what you guys thought about this week's episode of the Book of Dinjarin.
Yeah, the Book of Star Wars, aka PS, and Boba Fett's the new Anne Frank. Yo, straight up, what do we got, man? Book of Boba Fett. We have episode 5 or 6. 6.
This
We have
was 6.
episode 6. Pretty much the season finale. We're getting this kind of great setup for a series that's kind of sucked the whole time. These last 2 episodes have built up an amazing momentum that the series has not been able to keep up with. It looks like the last 2 episodes are about to hit the finish line, where the series hasn't even taken off from the starting line. How do we feel? How do we feel about the Book of Boba Fett? Man, it sounds so weird to say that, but how do you feel about this last episode of Book of Boba Fett?
Personally, I think this was the best Disney Plus episode ever. This is going with Marvel, Star Wars, anything they have ever done so far. This was everything. And last week I kind of gave a fuck about the fact that it was called Book of Boba and Boba wasn't in it. That went right out the window with this episode. I didn't give a fuck. I was actually glad I didn't see Boba Fett anywhere near this fucking episode besides like 20 seconds.
There's been something that's been very nice not seeing that actor or Boba or any of those characters from the series, and the mods or whatever they call them. Any of these characters that were like front and center throughout the entire episode, except for like 5 seconds.
Yeah.
I kind of felt good being away from the Boba Fett storyline. And
I think it's done. I think it's over.
yeah, I think it ended like 3 episodes ago.
They gave you 4 episodes of his arc, and then I think they said, all right, that's it.
That's a big call, Mike. He's like, Grogu becomes the new Mandalorian, Mandalore, the new ruler, wielding the dark saber.
Dark saber.
Yeah, that's legit. There's a lot of things that happen in this episode that are fucking amazing. To tell you the truth, it's these last 2 episodes have kind of like clapped cheeks on whatever they did in the last trilogy movies and most of the series minus. I mean, the last 2 episodes kind of slapped against the Mandalorian series too. Like this really gave us a lot of answers to a lot of things.
Yeah.
The Mandalorian episodes, if there is anything that these last 2 episodes are giving us, is that I am 100% subscribed to the Mandalorian season that's coming up compared to anything else Star Wars is going to give us for the next like 20 years. Like if they're doing what they did in these last 2 episodes in the Mandalorian show, and they bring out a movie and it's not even close to this, like, dude, Star Wars should just check the fuck out. Like whatever director they bring out should just check the fuck out, because they are not learning from people who love the series. The people who made these last 2 episodes they are phenomenal. They've done an amazing job. This last episode by itself could clear 80% of most of the Star Wars movies practically. You could literally connect to the original
Everything.
trilogy. Yeah. It's
the last 2 episodes, you can connect everything to everything. It was fucking amazing. This episode, of course, was directed by Mr. Filoni himself.
Filoni himself.
He, and I said this in the chat, sorry, anyone that's listening for the profanity, but he literally took his universe and just slapped it on the table like his 10-inch dick and
Yep.
just like slapped it on the table and said, "Here, you
This
thought
is
that
what I'm all
last
about.
episode, yeah, you thought this last episode was cool. Look at this shit."
Yeah, check out
He,
someone who actually knows the history by
yeah,
fucking back of my hand.
yeah, like he had full range of using everything in his arsenal, and he did. Like he didn't leave anything uh left to the imagination. Like I'm sitting there and I'm watching and I'm watching the first 5 minutes where you had Cobb Vanth, which is fucking amazing. The opening scene was fucking amazing.
Yep.
It was like straight up a fucking western.
He's literally like the most accurate fucking character Star Wars has
bro,
put out. From
and
like
he's
straight
doing
up from the
what's
Cad Bane
what
was like
do you know
from the series to this. It was so good.
do you know the actor's name? I like him. I don't know his name though.
No, I didn't even.
But
Man,
anyway,
I was totally just lost. I didn't know who. I didn't even know he had an actor. I thought that was a real dude. I thought there was a real blue fucking fish guy like walking around that just they picked this guy up for this role. Like I was so taken by it.
yeah.
I was just lost in the whole world, man. Timothy Oliphant. Yeah, Mike's got us, dude. Mike knows, dude.
So he did a fucking amazing job. And then you go straight into Mando. And you know where he's going because he told you in the last episode, you know where the fuck he's going. You're like, no fucking way he's going there. And he fucking went there. When I saw the antenna for R2D2, I'm like, they're really about to do this. They're really about to do this. And I'm not ready. It's like 4:00 in the fucking morning, dude. Like, I'm too tired for this shit. Like, and they did it.
When they did the whole, like, okay, when they brought in Cad Bane, right? And they brought him against the Timothy Oliphant character, right? What's his name?
Cobb Vanth.
What's it? Cobb Vanth?
Cobb.
Yeah.
Cobb Vanth.
Yeah. Cobb Vanth. All right. Well,
goddamn.
Goddamn.
Yeah. Goddamn.
That's like me, Chris Hansen, man. That's the dude from To Catch a Predator. That's what I keep calling Chris Black Hansen. Sure, what's it? I keep calling him Chris Hansen.
Black Chris Hansen.
Yeah, everybody's fucking calling him Black Chris Hansen. I'm like, Chris, fucking Catch a Predator, dude. When they, like, I wasn't anticipating like a whole fucking Desperado, fucking Tombstone, whole fucking situation, and then for them to like for Filoni to reach into his bag of goodies and bring out Cad Bane, like, holy shit, Cad Bane.
It was Cad Bane. Yo, dude, there was no reason for Ahsoka to be in this episode.
You know what?
That was definitely Filoni just slapping his dick on the table and like, you know what I got?
Well, that's Star Wars history in the making, because this is the first time that you see Luke and Ahsoka in the first room.
Ahsoka together.
Yeah, this is where you see them together in the first time.
You did not need Ahsoka in this episode whatsoever. She really didn't serve any purpose besides deterring Mando from going to go see Grogu. That was it. You could have done that with any other character.
Of course, this goes off of the thing that I was talking about a while back, and I've mentioned it several times, that there was a huge theory online going around that Ahsoka Tano taught Luke to be a master, like to teach him to be a master, because he still lacked, because when Yoda died.
Look what Vince said.
But,
I said that.
Yeah, no, we're talking about this.
We'll talk about it.
But yeah, there was a huge like fan service, right? That Ahsoka Tano was the master of Luke Skywalker after Yoda died.
Yeah. Which
again would create a really badass female heroine that comes out to be a master. She becomes a white Jedi after the whole Sabine Wren and Ezra Miller scene. She becomes like a Yoda figure in herself too at the ending of Rebels. So for her to come back as this character that then teaches Luke Skywalker to beat his father and to bring him back, only full circle story-wise, the son is beaten by the son who is taught by his student, right? That would be a romanticized story of the Luke Skywalker story. And then of course the old the meme / fan art of Anakin telling Ahsoka, well, at the end, Anakin came back, and then she's happy that he didn't die. Darth Vader, at the end he saved the day and was the best Jedi ever, or whatever the fuck, right? That literally was Filoni knowing that he had to close that circle. story wise. He had to bring those two people together sooner or later
Mhm.
to know that throughout all of this time that Ahsoka Tano was still alive out there in the Rebels show, that they brought her back and that she was out there being a Jedi just on her own without the at all admission that she had ever met Luke would be a disservice to the series. Be a disservice to the series if that's the way they kind of ran. And then Ahsoka dies an old lady, never meeting Luke Skywalker, knowing that he lived like throughout the entire ending trilogies into an old man.
I get that, but why are they doing all of this in this series?
I think it's kind of weird, right? And the reason why is because first, fuck Boba Fett.
Not only that, but before you continue, there is an Ahsoka series coming. There is a Mando season 3 coming, or
I
season
think there was
4
a
coming.
Boba Fett series coming, but yeah, we didn't get that shit either, right?
So, like, I don't understand why we're touching on these subjects when seasons are coming.
I really think that, and it sounds weird, but I think that Filoni and I think that like the people that are behind this show, like they know
that it sucked.
they know the fan base of Boba will be forever because you really can't do anything wrong to the character and then not.
Well, no, not now. They fucked
Yeah.
that character up, dude.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
but through and through, Boba Fett will always have a fan base.
I would honestly question whether or not Filoni is a disciple of George Lucas, because what he did to Boba Fett is a fucking travesty, dude.
Well, how? I mean, we talked about this before. Like, I even said it. I think what they should have done with Boba Fett was make him an accidental spy, make him a fucking parody of himself, where like he's supposed to be like this best bounty hunter, and everyone apparently is like, oh my god, he's the best, and he only had 30 seconds of screen time in the original film. Like, what made him so spectacular if all he did was make mistakes? You know what I mean? Like that was always my biggest thing. His father, I mean, yeah, dude, Jango Fett had a whole storyline and he had his whole purpose, but there's really nothing different except Boba Fett was raised by Jango Fett and all the other Stormtroopers clones were just Stormtrooper clones.
Yeah.
But some of them came out, Rex came out to be a normal fucking cool dude. Some of them came out to be like the dudes that all helped Ahsoka Tano. They weren't raised by Jango Fett, but they all turned out to be A-okay. Like, what makes Boba Fett so much more spectacular of a stormtrooper than all? They all suck at shooting anyways.
I think it was the mystery, of him that kind of grew over the years.
Yeah, I think that's, I mean, I could,
and it's totally apparent that Filoni and Favreau, they did not give a fuck about that that they didn't give a fuck about that shit.
No.
They are 1000% worried about the Filoni verse, which I'm actually glad for.
Yeah.
And all that old school shit doesn't matter at the end of the day, anymore. We're moving forward. That old school Boba Fett shit, it was cool when we were growing up, but you know what? They fucking nerfed the fuck out of him, dude. They nerfed the shit out of him, and they hijacked this fucking show.
But you see, like, okay, so here's a really good concept of what we were talking about earlier, what Michael Betancourt just said. But you see, for us comic book readers, Boba Fett is a badass because he took Vader on a one-on-one fight and won, while survived and gained Vader's respect. But how would we know that?
And not only that, but going back to the conversation we had before, how is that doing a service to even see? To us, we don't give a fuck, right? It's like, all right, it's what's in front of us.
Yeah,
it's what's in front of us. But for you as a comic book reader, how do you feel about him being
nerfed
in this show?
Nerfed, yeah.
Like, I don't understand that. I really think that, and it's been widely known that Filoni is an understudy of George Lucas. So how do you feel as being an understudy of George Lucas, you taking one of his prized characters that is beloved by so many, and you just nerf the fuck out of him? Like, that's weird to me. But anyway, like, there's so much that I don't want to shit on Dave Filoni, because there's so much that he got right with this episode.
Yeah.
And for me, the one that shoots to the top is Luke Skywalker, and how he looked in this show.
That was
Anyone,
probably one of the most amazing things that I saw throughout the
anyone
entire
in
episode.
the comments, I want to know what you thought about the deep fake on Luke Skywalker in this episode, because I thought it was fucking fantastic. I thought it was genius that the first couple of minutes that we saw him, you didn't see him talk on camera. You waited till later, until after you had already saw him and you were already amazed, and then it kind of deteriorated over time. I loved all that shit, dude. I loved all of it. I loved the whole story about how the YouTuber, what's his name? I have it right here. Shamook, my boy Shamook.
Yeah, he did it, man.
YouTuber, he fucking got it done, bro. And I know there's a lot of people that like Sebastian Stan as Luke Skywalker, but let's not overshadow what Shamook did here. He did a fucking phenomenal job, dude. Great
Yeah,
job.
straight up. I think that's probably some of the best CG that Star Wars has seen in a very long time.
No,
You can literally, all
that's
time.
the best. That's the best CGI almost ever.
Yeah, because I was gonna say,
Ever.
like, if you go back to episode 3 when they show that
It was trash.
Princess Leia was being trained by Luke at the same time,
Princess
and she
Leia
takes off
was
her helmet,
trash.
it was it was hard.
Cringe.
Yeah, it was hard to
cringe.
look at. But you know what? This goes off of what we were talking about off scene, where I said I can really respect how the company is not afraid to humble itself when someone outside of the series or someone from outside of their franchise is like, hey, check out what I could do. Like, I mean, we saw it with the Thor poster, and we saw that Taika Waititi even saw it and was like, yeah, that's it, right? And he's like, oh, wait, no, that's not us? Oh, that definitely needs to be us. That's amazing. And then, boom, that poster became an official Thor for Love and Thunder series for Marvel. They just straight up went and bought the rights right from that dude. They licensed it. And now we have this guy, what's his name,
Shamook.
This YouTuber out of nowhere that was just dissatisfied with the way that they did the CG in the hallway scene for the first episode or the last episode of Mandalorian. When Luke came out, he was just didn't care for it. He was like, you know what, I could probably do better. And he deep faked the entire fucking thing and did a highly amazing job with his deep fake. So they ended up I'm not going to say they fired. They didn't fire the fucking team. They're just going to put them and say, hey, you know what? Like, we're going to bring in some extra help. Yeah. And want you guys to let this guy take the lead. They brought this dude in and he fucking knocked it out of the park, dude. And you know what? Even into the CG with Grogu, like doing all his flips and all his other stuff. Like, dude, I'm subscribed. I'm 100% subscribed to the way you guys did their shit. Like, this is probably the best I've ever seen Star Wars look in a very long time. I think through and through dude, it was one of those things that the camera was not afraid to give Luke Skywalker his screen time. That's the easiest way to explain it, is that they didn't have to hide him in a shadow or have him in a hood or have him cloaked or have
that was the great part. That was the great part about this dude.
Is that they just had him out in the open.
Exactly.
The scene, I mean, literally the scene when he's literally fucking meditating with his eyes closed. Like it's like 19-year-old fucking Mark Hamill in front of you.
Dude, that was Mark Hamill.
It was almost eerie on how realistic it looked. Yeah. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, if you look at it and you study it a little bit, you can still see that it still has that weird texture to the skin. It doesn't glisten. It doesn't have the oily texture like people's skin does.
Yeah.
But you cannot tell me, no one out there can tell me that was not probably one of the best renditions of a character CG that you haven't seen in a long time.
No, I think that's hands down the best I've ever seen. I mean, I would definitely put that up against whatever you're going to combat that with. I'll put that up against whatever you got.
I mean, literally the only thing that I could kind of feel would be the next step up would be like the concept of the metaverse thing that they're doing, where they have the characters that you can like literally recreate a character from like the bottom up. If you haven't seen it, it's really amazing. Okay. The other one would probably be the Unreal Engine that they released with the Matrix. Yeah. With a lot of the stuff that they were doing. But then again, you're talking about fucking a company with $1 million behind it compared to a dude that's in his fucking attic that's just making this shit happen with his own shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I guarantee that guy didn't have like a fucking Lucas studio.
Absolutely not. And still did better than the guy that did. I have a question for you though.
Shoot, brother.
How did Grogu get out of Order 66 from that flashback?
Okay, so two things we can touch base on that. One, shout out to Luke Skywalker for having some fucking mind powers like Charles Xavier, giving him his memories back. And two, I am so into the idea of thinking that Grogu is literally a clone of Yoda. Like I am
Okay.
100% for it, and that's
Oh,
why.
that makes sense because the clones is a fucking thing, a huge
Yeah,
thing in
and
the
the thing
lore
is
of
like
Star Wars.
Mike can jump in on this too in the comments. In the comic books, in the old series, the Legacy Legend series, right? They cloned the fuck out of Luke because they were like, he's the ultimate fucking Star Wars
They
Jedi or
clone the
whatever.
fuck out of everybody. That's like that's a big thing in the Star
But
Wars
but
lore.
if they were to take the idea of instead of just cloning Luke Skywalker as the ultimate Jedi, and they were like, fuck it, dude, let's just why don't we just clone Yoda?
Hmm.
And that's why they're always pushing to clone him over and over again and get more, because that's the whole thing, is they just want armies of this fucking people that they can never be stopped.
Yeah.
But he was the one that worked. And then that being the reason why Luke Skywalker's like, I don't know, man, I'm not really teaching him anything. Like I'm just kind of letting him remember. What if he's remembering all the memories of what old Yoda had, because he has that DNA cloned on him.
Mm.
And that's why he's kind of like, he's doing flips like Yoda did in the fucking prequels.
Yeah.
Like just flipping out of nowhere. The first thing he does is do a fucking flip. So look, even right there, Mike says, "Yep." He also had Palpatine himself had a shit ton of
It's
clones.
insane. Like like cloning is and I didn't realize that until later in the lore that's a huge part
thing in the
it's a
stories.
huge thing in the storyline. Yeah.
I mean, and that would be a really good prominent aspect for them to somehow bring Yoda back to the series, where he was like a dying breed of species. If they were just finding a way to clone him, and then of course you have one Yoda, he's gonna live for fucking thousands of years, so he'll be in literally every franchise from here until the ending of time. If you think about it, like he'll outlive every fucking series that's gonna come out.
You give me the very polished political version, dude. How did Grogu get out of Order 66, bro? Tell me.
Okay, you want me to get you? Want
Yeah, bro. Let's go.
I 100% think it's the Amethyst Night, dude. I really believe 100% that this is my boy's time to shine. I mention him just as much as I mentioned Miles Morales in the Marvel Universe.
You do.
I really, oh fuck, dude. I am, my blood's
Could you
boiling,
imagine?
but I really do. And you know what? I feel like they're
The
gonna
comments.
jump the
Wait. Say the name first, so the people in the comments know exactly who you're talking about, sir.
I 100% believe it's gonna be Mace Windu.
Mace Windu, the
I
one-armed
100%
Jedi.
one-armed
The
Jedi.
one-armed Jedi. Let's go.
I 100% believe it's Mace Windu. Why do I believe it's Mace Windu? Because he's the only unwritten character that it makes so much sense for him to just come out. He had just recently dropped out of a building, got one arm cut off. The first thing he's going to do is he's going to rush to tell as many of the younglings that they need to get the fuck out of there. Yeah. But the thing is if Grogu was already in that school, they understand that either one, he was a clone of Yoda that they got from somehow, some way, and they needed to take care of this kid. Or two, they just understand that being one of those kinds of species, that he has to be protected. And I think, of course, Anakin would have killed that dude in a heartbeat. He's just swang on everybody that looked like they got 2 feet. Like,
yeah, no, he didn't give a fuck, dude. Everyone died.
Everyone's Skywalker. He's like, I'm not
Everybody
a master.
died.
Boom.
Yeah, nah, he was already.
That's the one kid that respected him, man.
Yeah, nah,
the one kid that called him a master, and he's like, I'm just a fucking knight, bitch.
He got it first. Yeah, he got it first.
Yeah, he got it the worst, man.
He got it the worst. Yeah. I did when we jumped in pre-production. I definitely gave the same theory.
It just feels good to think that, man.
But I also said that if I were just thinking logically and not being like a fanboy or fan theories or anything like that, then I think that R2D2, which I do think I did see in here by Vince did say that. I do think R2D2 is the most logical way for
he's like the unsung hero of the Star Wars universe, dude. I swear to God.
He's probably the easiest way for Grogu to get out of there. You can have a droid standing right there while the Jedi getting slain, and no one will think of the wiser. I do think that R2D2 will turn out to be the reason how Grogu
I keep telling everybody that he's not he's not beeping and bopping everywhere. He's saying cuss words in Star Wars is just bleeping. That's just the sound of them censoring him, but he just cusses so much.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I could see it being R2D2, man. The other choice I think I said also would be the librarian.
The librarian,
which was this female character that was kind of like in charge of the codex of all the children. You really, and what's crazy is you don't really have a lot of choice to go on, because you know, Star Wars, for what it's worth, during that time of the Order 66, like a lot of shit is happening, but you 100% kind of know where everybody was.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, they knew where and they didn't mess up by fucking not having flashes of other random ass Jedi that were in the middle of nowhere getting slain off too. Like, they did that shit on purpose.
There was one thing that I want to touch on. Vince said that he found the Easter egg. I do know of the Easter egg that you're talking about. If you do watch that scene again where Grogu gets his mind enlightened or whatever, when as soon as it happens, you can hear the youngling, you can hear them being slaughtered by Anakin. So it's like,
well, yeah, he's going for the high score, man. I mean, I don't know what else you're gonna hear screaming. It's just a school of kids, man.
So Grogu is next to or in the
At
same
least
close to the youngling when they die. So yes, Vince, you are correct. I did see that same thing. You are correct. Before we get to what Robert and Mike are talking about, we gotta touch on Cad Bane, dude. What did you think of live action Cad Bane?
You know what? I was not. That caught me like, okay, so the cameos in this fucking episode, they blew my fucking mind. Getting Ahsoka, getting all the fucking people, getting Mando again, getting Luke Skywalker for like fucking the whole episode.
The whole episode, basically.
Yeah. And then getting, of course, going back and then seeing, you know, Timothy Olyphant's character, going back and visiting those people. And then not only that, Michael Bencourt saw it too, but getting a kick. It was like an Ocean's 12 episode, because they even saw the two Jawas that got him all hooked up with the fucking starfighter.
The starfighter, yeah, no.
Yeah, he flew by the ship and he's just like, what's up? And you could see the two like, yo, that's our dude, man. All the other ones are like, fuck, we're gonna steal that ship. It looks cool. And they're like, yo, that's our boy. Like, he
that's
kind of like,
yeah.
It was such a beautiful nod to the idea that the Mandalorian's only been here for like a season, maybe two, but his impact throughout the whole entire like what the fucking
his name rings bells, kid. His name rings bells, dog.
Why did they bring his fucking character up fast as fuck?
Hell yeah, his name rings bells.
Boba Fett got shit on.
Hell yeah,
dude, he got shit on so hardcore they couldn't. Oh my god, dude, like Boba Fett, fucking Boba Fett. But no, going back,
yeah.
But man, the Mando character has been built so fucking fast and so smart and so intelligently that he has so much depth in his character in Star Wars now that Boba Fett is overshadowed by the growth of this character. The cameos in this one episode made me forget I was watching Boba Fett.
Yeah.
A show dedicated to him. I don't even know what Boba Fett's doing. Like, is he like, what, why is he fucking getting people together? I don't even understand anymore.
It's to fight the fish people or whatever the fuck.
Who the fuck cares about him? Like
it's like, not it. It's it. I understand what you're saying.
I totally fucking
forgot. It's to fight the Pikes, but it's just the fact that what's happening in front of us. We are witnessing an Avengers level type shit.
I remember you texted me earlier. You're like, dude, it's like the Avengers in space, and I was like,
the fucking space Avengers,
bro.
But in
that's just
Star
the Guardians
Wars,
of the Galaxies.
Yo, but far away, like you said.
Far away. The Guardians of the Galaxy far away.
Bro, like they are. Filoni is literally putting together his own version of the Avengers, and this is fucking amazing.
If there's anything that I could look forward to is if these last two episodes are anything in the idea of what we're gonna get in the finale,
dude. All right,
I
want to jump to that, but before that, I want to know which way. Oh, and by the way, just so you know, I loved Cad Bane. He looked phenomenal. Once I Once I saw the silhouette in the background, I was like, I lost my shit. I was like,
dude,
no
you
fucking
just
way.
felt it, right? You just felt it. Like the
You
moment
knew
you
it.
saw him, you were, but the first, my mentality was like, oh God, they're gonna kill all these people.
Yeah, I
Like,
thought everyone was
I
dead.
was like, this,
I
all
was
these guys
like,
are dead.
I was like, no one's. I was like, you're not
No one's
gonna
gonna
get your,
survive.
you're not gonna get your fucking caravan. You're not gonna get your
Yeah,
street
he ain't got no backup.
because they're all gonna fucking die right now.
And then what makes that even better is that means in the next season of The Mandalorian, we have Mando chasing down Cad Bane. And it was going to be a whole fucking series dedicated to him going after, if not the best bounty hunter in the world.
I
in the
honestly
universe.
think no. I honestly think that if anything, it'll be Cad Bane chasing Mando. But I honestly think that we'll probably get a second season of Boba Fett and Cad having an issue.
A fucking showdown.
Because they have big problems.
Yeah.
They have
That'd
big
be so
problems.
fucking fantastic.
Like if you were to end the book Boba the way that it is now, and then give me a second season where Cad Bane was the main antagonist, holy shit.
Yeah, then I can kind of get behind that.
That would be
But
fucking.
man, dude, boy, did they wait till the last fucking minute to make it good, man.
I don't know. But so what is your prediction? So there's another talking point. So Luke Skywalker gave Grogu at the very last scene before we faded to black.
Well, even before that, I want to iterate into this real quick.
Get
because we already know what you're gonna say. Because I want to say everybody got to see the episode. But this is my assumption from last week. I assumed that Mandalorian was going to cover the travels of him going and giving the whole thing to the kid, and we were going to get a couple episodes and da la la. Man, we got that in one fucking episode later, and it literally flourished out all the way through. I was like,
that's Filoni.
That's
Filoni. That's Filoni putting his schlong.
Yeah,
on the
dude.
table,
I literally.
I don't need 3 episodes, bro. This is getting taken care of right now.
Right fucking now.
Right now.
And it paid off so well. Like that, if they're doing that pace throughout the entire series now, like I'm for it. It didn't fucking give us some weird ass holdout or whatever. It didn't like bleed into the next series. It literally gave it to us just like fucking a huevo, like just boom, here it is. That thing that we got last week, boom, we're about it right now. Let's go. I literally assumed I thought it was going to be the beginning of the next series of The Mandalorian. I thought it was going to be like that was the beginning of the show, but it doesn't look like we're going to be like that, man. It looks like we're getting right into this bitch. Yeah, everything literally leads up into the only thing that's going to lead up into the Mandalorian show is the choice, but everything is like cut dry, and it's like, hey, we got our shit done. Time to handle business. Let's go, Boba. Like, it still gets that respect back to the Boba Fett story, but I know what you're going to ask me.
Yeah.
I know what you're going to ask.
Can I ask?
Yeah. It's that time.
All right. So I'll ask you, and I'll also ask the people in the chat. Grogu is left at the end of this episode with a very, very, very hard decision to make. He has A, behind curtain number 1. He can take the best guard chainmail that was made by the Mando, by Mando as a gift. But if he takes that, he is no longer going to be accepted as a Jedi, and he is going to be 1000% with the Mandalorian.
Which I have my reserves on how they wrote that out. I'm sorry.
Or B, behind curtain number 2, you can take the lightsaber, which was once wielded by the great Jedi Master Yoda, and spend years mastering the Jedi way. Those are your 2 choices as a youngling / Padawan. Which one does he take?
So
which one do you want to see him take?
So everybody in the comment, man, we want to see those answers too, man. We want to see your answers.
Oh, yeah.
I have my reserves, man, about the way that it was given to him.
Tell me.
Because of course the reserve of the Jedi is you take your lightsaber, you become the greatest Jedi on the planet because I'm going to teach you to be the greatest, right? Whatnot. Yeah, Luke Skywalker has such a great track record of doing that with anybody.
That's my point. Well, I'll
Yeah.
get to my point, but yeah, exactly. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Or he totally doesn't respect the other culture of the Mandalorian and doesn't respect the idea that when Djarin first showed up, yes, he showed up for selfish reasons.
Mhm.
One, he loves the kid, which is no problem about that. And two, he says it himself that in the Mandalorian culture, it's his given right to have a piece of armor. And that's absolutely correct. That goes all the way to the first couple of episodes of The Mandalorian
Yeah.
when he shows up and he gives his Beskar and he says, leave it for the younglings because they deserve their armor. Because every one of them gets armor in some way.
Yeah.
But they can't get it for themselves because younglings, the young Mandalorian younglings, they can't fetch for themselves. They can't fend for themselves. So the older ones have to get them their armor for them. And
Mhm.
then, of course, from there, they get their bounties and whatnot, and they build and build and build, which is the way of the Mandalorian. So when he shows up, yes, he loves the child. He's like his father because he's his foundling or whatever. In that culture, you have no parents. It's just the person who finds you that cares for you. See, it's your big brother. It's a big brother in the series. He shows up, and of course, you can see it, man, dude. It's fucking heartbreaking, dude, when he's there, and he's like, "But he's right there. I came all this way." And you're like, "Oh, motherfucker, dude, give it to him. Come on, let him see him, dude." But you know what? It does go to factor, right? Grogu has barely started his Jedi training. You know, he's probably been there for like 3 months, and the Mando's already fucking breaking. It's like sending your kid to like fat camp or something. It's gonna take him some fucking cake for God's sakes. Um, yeah, he shows up and he brings him his armor, which the Mandalorian has not, and same thing with Boba, it has not shied away from showing how fucking strong Beskar is. So Luke Skywalker training a youngling, which he ain't got no skills teaching, to give a child Beskar armor that can last him a long time. I think that would do fucking Grogu some good, even as a Jedi. But then again, that's only me. It deflects lightsabers for fuck's sakes. But the other thing that he offers him is the other thing that I'm kind of questioning. So he offers him, of course, the lightsaber of the mighty past Yoda, which I thought was a cool ass nod of the hat. Hey, yo, look, it's Yoda's lightsaber. You happen to be a Yoda. No discrimination or anything, but this could be really good for you because it's made specifically for you as a people or whatnot, right? But the problem is Yoda's lightsaber has been destroyed for a good long fucking time. And this is the plot hole that I told you about that comes from the comic books or the Easter eggs that sometimes appear that become a problem. This was like the lead up from all the stuff we were talking about earlier, guys. we looped you. We looped you real good. Fucking segue from an hour and a half later. So in the comic books, after the Revenge of the Sith, Yoda loses his lightsaber in a fight against Palpatine, and then one of Palpatine's clones ends up finding it, taking it, and then later on they go to Coruscant, and in a big public display, after Order 66 happens, they destroy all the slain Jedi's lightsabers, and one of them that's literally shown almost all the time throughout the entire thing is Yoda's lightsaber to show everybody that hope has been destroyed. Of course, we all know that Yoda didn't die at that time. He died at the young old age of 9 billion years old or however long he lasted. But his lightsaber was destroyed publicly. But here we are, not too long ago after the Revenge of Sith, with a whole new awkwardly created lightsaber that's already been destroyed. Now, I want to ask anybody out there, what do we chalk this up as? Because I'm gonna accept it. I don't even give a fuck. It's written so well that I don't even give a shit how we accept it. Because then no shit's
I
gonna make
think
me
they're
fucking
relying
hate
on
this.
that. I think they're relying on that because there are some holes in all of this, and not only that, my problem with this, and there's actually two things that I have a problem with this, is that later on we know that Luke knows that the Jedi way is bullshit. Like he comes to that realization.
Mhm.
Two, in this series alone, like specifically, we got the name drop of Tar Vizsla, right?
Yep.
What was Tar Vizsla? He was a Mando and a
Yeah,
fucking
he's the
Jedi.
creator of the black saber. Yeah.
He was both.
Mhm.
So why can't Grogu be both? It's not out of the realm of being both.
I mean, yeah, because it goes back to that idea, right?
This
I mean,
series, it wasn't like this was something that was like told in a different series where we can forget about it. This was told in this series
yeah,
that he was
that's a really good call. I didn't even think about that.
he was a Mandalorian that turned into a Jedi, or that basically was turned into a Jedi. So it's been done before in the past. So why are you making Grogu choose between being a Mando and being a fucking Jedi? Doesn't make any fucking sense.
That's a good point. That's a real good point. Now, to add on to that concept, because that's a really good call, man. I'm not gonna lie. That's a really good call. I kind of feel that it was specifically put there throughout the entire script, how everything was based on like a flick of the eye when it comes to Grogu's life, and how an hour of his lifetime could be a lifetime for someone else. There was a lot of push in the script for him to kind of be constantly telling Grogu like what's cool about you is you guys live forever. You know, what's cool about you guys is you guys live such a long time. What's crazy, and he keeps going on and on about it in some weird ways.
Yeah.
And then in the aspect of it, when he's asking Grogu at the end, and he kind of tells him, you know, a lifetime for someone else is like not even a couple of days for you. And I think he keeps telling this to subtly say, it's okay for you to walk away from this. Because if you walk away, you can experience the father figure and still be young enough to come back. Because in the aspect of it, right now he's 50. He's not even a child, dude.
Yeah.
Let's all get out of that idea that this is a fucking
Yeah,
child.
stop calling him a kid.
Yeah,
He's
this is
literally the oldest living
character in the story.
character in this story.
Yeah. He's that little MMA guy that everybody's always like putting videos up of shit online. What's his name? Fucking I don't even remember his name, but yeah, he's 50, he's 50 years old. And of course, in his age or in his species, he's an infant.
Nothing. Yeah, he's still
he's like barely like 1 or 2 years old.
Good.
Another 50 years, which that's even to give the idea that the Mandalorian will live another 50 years.
Yeah.
Knowing his lifestyle, it'll be 30, maybe 25 at the max.
Yeah.
But that's literally a blink of an eye for a character like Grogu. For him to go out and experience life as a Mandalorian instead of a Jedi, he could do that. He can live so many fucking lifestyles. Because if it takes a whole life of a regular Skywalker to be a master Jedi, dude, fucking a Yoda can do that shit in fucking one pubic hair growth.
Yeah.
Like if you think about it, like it's nothing for him. When Luke is like, oh man, it's gonna take years for you. No, it's not, dude. It'll take you years. It's gonna take me a couple weeks if you think about it. Like, yeah, I got this shit covered, man. He'll be 9 by the time he's a fucking master Jedi, and then he's got fucking 800,000 years left.
I think he's already a master Jedi. He again, I think I said this to you in pre-production. I don't think it should go unnoticed that when Ahsoka met Mando last season in Mando, she explained to him how he has been trained by several masters before. So this isn't the first time that he's been trained. He just had that traumatic experience to where he kind of.
I wonder if that's the thing, though. I wonder if that's the thing. Like, I wonder if it's the dramatic experience that got him to forget, or if someone used the Force to make him forget.
It's a good question.
And then the whole unlocking thing is just the unlock part. You know what I mean? Because it's one of those.
Why? So again, Ahsoka, and this is the only thing that I had a question about Ahsoka being other than why was she in this episode? She knows a lot, but she won't train them herself. She won't, because of that bullshit ass fucking Jedi fucking.
Yeah, she's always like, go with your instinct or so. She's still like a hippie about it, I guess. I don't know.
She's still like a hippie about
Yeah,
it.
I don't expect because I mean it's cheese writing. I mean it's not something that's like you're not gonna really get anything out of it. It's just the people like, oh cool, I think it'd be better if Luke trained her.
Yeah.
And then
But-
she's just like, oh well, yeah, he didn't choose me. Well, he's fucking 50, but he's like 10.
And
Like,
she's older than him. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
She like
technically
why?
she is about
That's-
as old as him.
That's what I'm saying. Like it didn't make sense to me as to why she's listening to Luke when she's been around just as long, if not longer, than Luke, dude.
Yeah. Well, I think she's older than Luke, right?
No, she's way older than him. But I mean, like, I want to say, as in, maybe she respects his lightsaber shit. I don't know, dude. I don't know. But
Well,
why
it's
is
just
she?
that
Why is she taking orders from Luke? Why is she
if
taking
you
orders?
think about
from
it,
Luke?
Ahsoka Tano's the Captain America of that world.
So then,
she's
why is she taking orders from Luke then?
I don't know, man. It's such a weird thing. I think she's because there's a part of me that thinks she's still kind of disconnected from the Rebels cartoon, where
Okay.
she was in that prospect of wanting to be a Jedi. She reached a certain perspective, and she just took a bunch of their bullshit that she was like, being a Jedi is fucking stupid, and then she just went off and did her own thing. And she's kind of like that's why a lot of people consider her the first gray Jedi, even though Freddie Prinze Jr., who is a voice actor in the series and does like have a lot of knowledge from the the whole franchise creators and all this stuff, literally came out and said people who subscribe to the whole gray Jedi thing, you're all full of shit. There's no such thing. It's either white or black. There's no middle ground. But the middle ground is people who just quit the series, like who just straight up quit.
Just quit. Yeah.
Yeah, they just straight up quit, which I mean, it's not like we haven't seen it, but that's not a technical term in the Star Wars universe. They're not categorized as a Jedi anymore because it's either you are or you aren't.
Yeah.
Like, and if you just don't, then you just tell people, oh, well, yeah, that was me back in the day or whatever. I'm not a Jedi anymore. I'm a bounty hunter or I'm a scavenger. I'm a whatever it is. Right.
So wait, that's true. Like she gave up being a Jedi.
Yeah, in the Rebels cartoon, she
The
was like,
Rebels,
I'm
right,
done.
yeah.
That's why she fucking started working, and she even was trained like really randomly by Darth Maul. Darth Maul trained her a little bit. Yeah, Darth Maul trained her a little bit. And same thing with Ezra.
You know that, yeah.
Ezra kind of like not worked, but he was trained alongside the dark side. So, and that's the kind of like the shipping of them being gray Jedi, because they're not necessarily white or black. They're just boom, they're in the middle, and it's not bad because sooner or later, if you don't believe in the religion of it, you're gonna understand that there's good and bad, but you don't have to fucking.
I guess I ask. So then, why the fuck is she there then? Again, why was she in this? If she had quit being a Jedi, why was she in this episode then?
I think they just did it for the fan service.
Exactly. I was
Yeah,
saying,
it's
like, there
100%
was
for the fan.
no reason why she needed to be in, and that was apparent to me. Like, I didn't even know that tidbit. Because
in the process of it too, it makes a good point. Like, there is a point, like you said, that Luke Skywalker ends up removing himself from the Jedi ways, right?
Yeah.
Maybe it's because he's kind of like self-taught by Ahsoka that it's okay to be different.
Maybe.
Because that would make a really good reason as for her being around.
I think for anything, it was more of a learning experience with Luke. I don't know what it was. It was a learning curve for him. No one told him that. Like, that was a learning curve. He flipped his shit.
I think what we're gonna get is we're gonna get a lot of like the meditative moments of them like walking in the forest, and them kind of relaying messages to each other. Oh, well, what do you think about this? And her being like, well, maybe you gotta follow your instincts, Padawan or Master Luke. And she'll say it a little bit longer, kind of give him that whole like, mysterious girl vibes. He'll kind of get a crush on her or whatnot. But like, there's just a part of me that thinks that that's going to be the person that opens his mind to not be so like by the book, which will give really good like a dispositioning if they do bring Mace Windu back. Because Mace Windu's like a fucking straight motherfucker. If you're not a Jedi, he's like, fuck out of here. Like, you don't stand in my office. This guy Anakin, yeah, he's cool, but he's not a master. Get the fuck out of here. Like, he was not afraid to just disavow that dude in a heartbeat.
Mike, I think we all can agree. Filoni, again, he didn't give a fuck about anything this episode, but giving us what we wanted to see. That's it. Like, this entire episode was fanfare. Period.
And you know what's crazy is like we cannot assume that when Filoni and these guys were making these episodes, that he assumed that nobody was going to take the Boba Fett as the way it is.
Yeah.
You don't really know that it's going to be a failure or not until it's out in the public and you get a response. So it's not like he just went back and filmed episode 6.
Yeah.
Like these guys had this shit done like months ago. So they didn't know that the first couple of episodes were going to be accepted. But man, they did such an amazing job in these last 2 episodes that really fixed the series. You know what? And I mean, you and me and Triggs and everybody in the comments, we were there, man. We were all there where we were like, dude, this series sucks. Like I'm losing interest. I think by episode 2, I was kind of checked out.
I think I was still hanging on a little bit more than you. I think you had already checked out.
Yeah, I checked out by episode like 2 or 3.
I was still holding on. I was saying like they can because honestly, the whole Sand People shit, I was interested. They had me. But it was somewhere around that episode 3 where they kind of lost me.
Mike, this is why I love Mike. Mike is such an encyclopedia for this stuff, which always brings me what's his name vibes. Fucking Qui-Gon Jinn. Qui-Gon Jinn, which is Michael Betancourt says, my favorite line from the Clone Wars is Anakin asking Ahsoka, what did I teach you about going against the council? And she responds, you taught me how to. You taught me how to go against the council. That's what I think her purpose is. And it's so Qui-Gon Jinn.
Yeah.
He was a good Jedi, but yet he was a bad Jedi because he was like, well, I know what they want, but I don't feel like I'm gonna give it to them.
I also like Vince's comment above that. That's a fucking great fucking thing.
She's maybe keeping an eye on Luke because she doesn't want Luke to be like Anakin.
Can you imagine?
I mean, that would be probably her biggest fear.
Keeping tabs on this motherfucker.
I mean, that would be her biggest fear. But I mean, in the process of it, you would assume that she would know that he was practically raised almost closer to Obi, and be closer to Obi than he was Anakin. Like he knows I think in the whole like prequels or not the prequels, yeah, but the prequels. No,
what if that was what if that's a mission? What if that was maybe she was giving orders to watch after Luke or keep a tab on him?
That's something that I had in mind. Do you think if by chance the Amethyst Knight is still around, and I only call him that because it's a deserving name because no one else ever got that opportunity to have a lightsaber that was amethyst.
Yeah.
And that's who he is, the Amethyst Knight.
Yeah.
Do you think that by chance Ahsoka Tano knows and works with him, or do you think he's just such a Metal Gear Solid Snake dude that he's just out there by himself, like just Nick Furying everything with one eye or one arm now?
Literally one arm.
You think he's the Nick Fury of the Star Wars universe?
I think that's a good question. I think that it depends on what works. Does it work better if no one knows that he's alive and he's just being a fucking secret ninja fucking Jedi walking around just doing secretive missions to
Nick
fucking
Fury, man.
He's being Nick Fury.
Basically in Star Wars, the multiverse Nick Fury.
That's what I'm saying. Like what works better? Or is it known that he survived and you know he's secretly talking to Jedis but at this point, you know,
the resistance and shit.
Yeah, the resistance. Yeah, I don't know. I honestly, personally, I would rather him just be the ninja fucking secretive.
Right? There's a part of you that's just like
fuck that.
Where he just kind of pops up out of nowhere when shit's about to hit the fan. Everything's dark, and then all of a sudden you just see the fucking purple lightsaber light the shadows.
And he dips.
And you're just
and
like, fuck out of here, dude.
And then he
like,
dips.
Fuck
shit up, and then he dips, bro. Yeah. Hell yeah.
There is a part of me that I think I would be really taken if it was Mace Windu. Do we think the story is, I mean, you would really have to look at the way Samuel Jackson is as a person in his life right now if he wants to kind of jump back to this. Right now he's doing Secret Wars or Secret Invasions.
That's CGI, bro.
Yeah.
You can take the fucking, all you have to do is fucking just show up, bro. And we'll CGI it. You don't gotta do any facial expressions. You don't gotta do too much. We'll CGI you now, bro.
I mean,
we
dude,
got my man, we got my man Shamu. We got my man Shamu, bro. We're good, dog. My man Shamu got
Sam
us.
Jackson still doesn't look that bad.
He doesn't.
No, he doesn't. I mean, he's probably in better shape than fucking Mark Hamill is.
Probably.
Yeah, so like for him to come back as like a weathered and torn Mace Windu, it probably wouldn't be that
I
far
saw the
fetched.
pictures of behind the scenes of Mark Hamill when it was the last episode of Mando,
Mhm.
and he looked like shit, dude.
Oh, dude,
And
he looked like fucking hammered shit, dude.
yeah, he looked like death, dude. And it's still, even though I hate the way that CGI turned out, looked a lot better than what he actually looks in person. So it's
Yeah.
like, where did it turn to now? Dude, we got Shamook, dog. We're good.
Yeah, I think
Same.
we're gonna be safe for a while.
We're good.
Um, we would cater to the idea that it be Mace Windu, or of course the unsung hero of Star Wars, R2D2.
2D2.
I think those are the greatest two. Of course, there is probably a small faction of people out there, probably Mike too, that would say it would be cool if it was Ezra, but it doesn't make sense for
Ooh.
Ezra to kind of just pop up in the middle just to
There's
save one
certain
kid.
there's certain characters that are gonna have to wait their turn. And I think
Yeah.
Ezra's gonna have to wait until Ahsoka. Like, we're gonna get him in Ahsoka, obviously.
I really think that we're
1000%.
gonna get a really big payoff in the Ezra story. Like in the sense of like we may get a full ass feature film like of Ezra later on in life.
Like a spinoff.
Yeah, because I really think that like it's like I've said before, I think the Thrawn character deserves more of like a heavy hitting movie. I mean, he had a really fantastic book a while back. I thought it was fucking amazing. But I mean, the thing is I don't think it would be Ezra in this situation. And the reason why is because Ezra is already dealing with all this stuff with Thrawn. So like for him to be like going backwards and forwards, it wouldn't have made sense in the Rebel story. My money is 100% on Mace Windu. And why? Because I think there was a missed opportunity for
I'm
them
rooting
not
for
to
you,
do
bud.
it in the first part. Yeah, there's just you could feel it, right?
I'm
Like
rooting for you.
it almost
I
feels
really
like,
do think so.
it
I
almost
really
feels
do
like,
want that's my fan theory.
and
My
you want to
head
know
my head's
why I
telling me
feel that
R2D2.
that's what it is. Is I feel like we just didn't get a full-on story of it. We didn't get a fucking in the Star Wars franchise. I've realized that if we don't see a body or a lump of
They're not dead.
clothing or
They're not dead.
something, there's no way they're dead. Like that's just it. Like if you don't see like their clothes piled up on some shit, or you don't see them lit on fire with like a bunch of Ewoks around them, then the shit never happened. They get their arm cut off, and then later on the fucking lightsaber comes back. The fucking arm comes back, and then they have a whole clone
I
from it.
watched Darth Maul get cut in half,
And that
still
motherfucker
lived.
came back.
And he
He came
lived.
back and had legs.
And he
He had
lived.
fucking legs. Look at Finnick, dude. Finnick got
He-
shot in the stomach.
Not only did he get cut in half, but he dropped to like 1,000 stories.
Well, look
after
at the
that.
fucking look at how they saved Finnick and
Fennec,
the other fucking
Fennec,
dude. She got her whole fucking stomach blown out, and they were like, "Nah, bet we got this shit. Let me bring her back. Let me get this rapper guy to fucking fix her." Who was the rapper that they brought in to fucking fix her?
Oh, that was Thundercat, bro.
Yeah,
I love Thundercat,
the
bro.
fucking saying. What did he make that
I
song with
love
Muay Thai
fucking
shorts?
Thundercat, yo.
Yeah,
Don't say
fucking
nothing bad about Thundercat. That's my boy, yo.
Like straight up, like it was. If you do not get some type of like heap of clothing like Obi-Wan, or if you don't get some like just something on fire like the way
Some
they
kind of
left all the
confirmation.
the way they left the fucking sand people out in the fucking desert the other day.
Oh, with the
Yeah,
fucking
if we don't get that,
just
then you know for
burning,
sure
yeah.
they're not dead. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean that's just my opinion. I think the reason why it just feels so bad is because we never got a for sure yes or no if he was dead. He was even throughout the entire books of the Star Wars universe, he is literally talked about as one of the greatest, if not feared Jedi in the world. Like feared because of the way that the ferociousness of his fighting ability.
Yeah.
So are we really going to come to terms to think that he got thrown out of a window, got his arm cut off, and he's dead? I don't think so. I mean, it was a cool shot, but I really, really don't think so.
Let me ask you a question.
Go
We
for
kind of want to tie this to the bow.
Yeah.
The last episode, we have one episode left. What do you think is going to happen here?
I think they all go to Chuck E. Cheese. That's about as fucking far as the episode's really got me.
It's like a robot chicken episode right there where they all just meet up and go to Chuck E. Cheese. But yeah,
Chuck E. Cheese, man. I literally I don't even know what the fuck is going on in the Boba Fett story. Like I know that there's
No,
some
we're,
fucking
we're
fish.
off of that. This is Avenger level type of shit.
Yeah.
We're just gathering every known badass in the galaxy, and we're just gonna go to war
Yo,
with the
and
pikes.
before we
That's
go
what's
on
going
to
on.
that part, like shout out to the writers of Star Wars for making sand a drug on a planet of sand. Yeah, dude. Holy fuck. I mean, that was like they were just like, dude, what do we do, bro? We ran out of blue milk, we ran out of blue green drugs. Like, what about sand? Let's just turn sand into sand, or let's just turn sand into drugs and call it
That's
spice and
funny.
not get sued, hopefully, by Dune.
That's
Like
funny.
that was wild as shit. Like literally when that dude like at the beginning of the episode was like, this is worth more than your fucking city or
Now,
whatever. And he's like, well, I guess I'll retire. And he opens up, dude. I was literally expecting an artifact
nah,
out
it's
of the
fucking
box.
drugs.
And it,
Yo,
dude,
have
it's
you
a
not
fucking-
realized that
it's
spice is
cinnamon.
fucking cocaine in the
It's
space?
literally, it's
It's
literally the
cocaine.
sand.
It's space cocaine.
It's not even that. It's just sand you buy at Walmart, but they just sell it in different colors, so you can set that shit up in your house
Yeah,
when you're
space
doing like the
cocaine,
fucking
dog.
weird fountains or some shit. It was wild as fuck. Shout out to that motherfucker that was like, "Yo, what do we make the drug in this series?" Well, I don't know. There's a lot of sand everywhere. Like, fucking genius. Write it. Write that shit. Sand is the drugs in a sand fucking planet. But yeah, going back. Fuck. So
Everyone's
we know that Mando's gonna fight Cad. Like we know that that's a given.
I don't know
And the
that.
reason why is because he's gonna find out that Cad went after them because apparently, like, you know, the people are gonna show up.
I
And they're
don't
gonna
want
be like,
that. I don't want that because Mendo doesn't stand a chance against Cad. So I don't want that.
man. I
What do
don't
you-
know. I don't know.
Cat takes
I mean,
out. Cat takes out.
They've 100% grown.
Cat takes out Jedi's, dog. What are we talking about here?
I
All
don't
right.
know, man.
I just know that they're not doing that in this episode. This episode is all about this big ass fight with the Pikes. You may get a little bit of Cat. He's gonna get subdued some way, but I don't think he dies. I think honestly, my one question is whether or not Grogu and Luke are gonna be involved in this fight. Everyone else that we've seen so far is gonna be involved in this fight, and it's gonna be epic.
Yeah,
I want to
don't-
know whether I want to
don't
know
think
whether or
Luke
not
and Grogu
Luke
show up.
and Grogu show up in this fight. If Luke shows up in this fight,
I don't think so.
dog, I'm losing
Yeah, he's
my
tanking
shit.
everybody, dude. It's fucking
Yo,
it's Battlefront.
this is prime Luke too, bro. Like
Battlefront 2, man. It's just like he just shows up
Yo,
and starts tanking
I'm
everybody.
losing my I think Vincent, Luke and Grogu show. Yo, I'm telling you, if Grogu and Luke show up to this fight, I'm losing my shit. I
Yeah,
think
can you
we make
imagine,
it.
dude?
We make it
shows
Grogu.
up. Luke shows
We
up
make
and
it
just
Grogu.
fucking Tom Brady's fucking Grogu into the fight.
Yo,
Just throws him in there like a football, dude.
we're gonna get Grogu in this fight. But if Luke shows up with the fucking lightsaber, dude,
Nah, dude, what's gonna happen? He's gonna throw Grogu in there. And he's gonna be like, "Here, take me. There's your chainmail. That's what you wanted to fight with.
That's
bro.
what you
I
wanted,
could've
right?
given
And
you
I'm
a
out.
lightsaber.
Then I'm
Should have
out.
chosen the lightsaber. Was a cooler idea, huh? Fucking just throws him in there with just chainmail and shit. I could see that shit happening before them showing up. Period, dude.
Yeah.
Like
I
can see
do
it as a
think,
fucking-
if anything, I don't think Mando and Cad have a fight. I do think Boba Fett and Cad have a rematch. I do see that with a little bit of side of fucking Fennec jumping in like a 2-on-1.
I might have
That's
to.
That's a 2-on-1
I might have to
situation
slightly
right there.
disagree. And the reason why is because I think the person that Fett is going to be involved in wanting to fight against is going to be that Kiana chick that's involved with the syndicate. I think that's the only
But
cameo we haven't seen.
That's like a post credit type of. That's like a post credit type of
I
thing.
think that's like ending of the series right before credits come out.
Yeah, it's like a
Like
post
all the
credit
shit
type of
kind
thing.
of handling out. I don't think Boba's like.
But
front
in
and center
this-
Battlefield.
In this next series, shit's hitting the fan. We're going to
Yo,
war.
even before that, what kind of fucking fight scene are we gonna get here? Is this
I'm
gonna be
telling
like
you.
Tombstone?
I'm telling you, it's gonna be like in a fucking desert or a town.
Yo, I
where-
say it's like fucking battle at the OK Corral kind of shit, dude.
What do
Fucking
you think
shooting
of-
guys off the roof.
This just
Like the
reminded
first
me.
episode.
What do you think about everyone saying that this series is taking too much? It's taking too much time on Tatooine. Or it's taking too much time on a place where there's nothing. What do you think about that? Like that's a conversation where a lot of this,
shit.
a lot of people are saying like, why are we spending so much time on Tatooine? There's nothing that goes on there. Like, yeah, we get the reference between Anakin and where he grew up, but
Yeah, but
there's
the
nothing that
reason
goes
why
on in
it's like
Tatooine.
even though Tatooine is like a small like area and it's kind of like ravished, I guess you could say. Like it's
There's
like a
nothing there.
desert.
There's no resources there. There's nothing there.
It's still
It's
the
a
smallest.
scavenger town.
It's still the smallest of the syndicates that you could control, like that area, that neighboring thing. It's like if you can conquer this, you got your foot in the door, kind of thing. So I think, yeah, if they end up doing it the way I think it is, where Boba is going to play more of a general to all of these like weird like younglings or weird people, he has to conquer an area before he can go on. Now, Mike brought a really good concept in, which was it's the Seven Samurai. And that's an interesting story because that consisted of, but that's more of the Mandalorian story if you think about it. In fact, the Mandalorian had a Seven Samurai story when he saved that village from that one group of people that was coming in with the AT-AT, right? The AT-AT. That's the one where they brought in Gina Carano's character, right? When he brought her back to fight the people. Like that is a real like Samurai 7 storyline. I don't see this one being, I see this one being more of like a Tombstone, like the movie Tombstone. I see it
Wild
more
Wild
being
West.
like a what, man. It's been such a setup. But the thing is they already had that episode 2 in the first episode of The Mandalorian when they had that weird robot and he goes and he saves all the people and he has the big shootout. They already did that. They already did that concept. So the only thing that I could kind of think that it might be like would be in the Solo movie, where they all meet up with that group of rebels and they're all on the beach and they're all like, well, I got a boy in the Millennium Falcon, and then it fucking flies off and shit. And he's like all left by himself and shit. I could see him being like one of those moments. And that would be a cool nod if it is Kiana that's the major villain behind the show. But then again, I think it's a big move for them to bring her in on such a failure of a show.
I think that's going to be the post-credit scene leading into Mando 4. I do think that this episode coming up is going to be spectacular. Now,
I think so too.
who we get, I don't know, but I tell you what, man,
I don't know if
listen,
Jedi to come out.
I'm telling you, dude, I think it's no. I need a Jedi, at least Grogu. At least give me Grogu. But I do think there is a situation where we get Mando, Boba, Fennec, we get Chrysanthemum, we get the mods, we get the Tuskens, we get fucking
the Tuskens are all dead, man.
Dog.
One of them's gotta be
gonna get it. I will bet my life we are getting a Tusken in this next fucking episode.
The dog survived.
We're getting a Tusken in this next fucking episode. And then we're going to get a combination, if not all of them, of Ahsoka, Luke, and Grogu in this next episode.
I just don't feel like they
may get all three of them, bro. We may get all three of them. If that happens, yo, the internet is going to break, dude.
The only reason why I say I don't think that it would be them is because they don't have any reverence or any stake in the situation. Like they don't have any benefit. Before it was that they had a youngling.
Yeah.
Now it doesn't matter. I mean, the youngling just wants to go back home. They're just gonna fight. Like I said, they're just gonna bloop, like just drop him off and be like, all right, deuces, laters. Not our fight.
Yeah, I don't think so.
That's the only thing. The only reason why I think they would say,
the only reason, I'm sorry to cut you off, and I think the only reason why I say that is why spend so much time on them in this episode. Like again, Ahsoka, there was no reason for her to be in this episode.
Yeah.
So why not bring her back in this next one? Like the only reason I have her in this episode is to get her reacclimated.
Yeah, that's the thing is they're just trying to make her reverent again. They're trying to make her reverent. I mean, build her up for her show or do something just to like people like they know that she's around.
What's the best way to build her up for her next show? Have her fucking bust ass in this last episode, bro. She's already in this series though. She's already here.
Yeah, you see, that's also Tatooine was Luke's home.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, other than that, though, that's and this is going back to what I was saying before. There has been a narrative that people are pissed off that we're spending so much time on Tatooine, and they're saying what's so significant about Tatooine other than it's Luke's home.
I think technically it's the slums. I think it's a
It's the
territorial.
slums, and that's what I'm saying. Like, there's
Yeah.
there's no significance of Tatooine.
Yeah, I think
But
it's just how you
granted,
control it if it manages.
granted, this is Tatooine is where this fight's taking place.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, Tatooine is also the place that they dropped Rey off too, right?
Yeah.
So it's like where you hide people. You know, it's
So
got its marks, man. It's
so
got its marks in the Star Wars universe.
Luke could kind of feel like he's defending his home. He's
If
defending home
Grogu comes back, then you for sure have a Guardians of the Galaxy because you have Black Chris Hansen and you got a little Groot. Like
We already got
Grogu.
that shit.
Yeah,
The
that's
mods.
Groot, Black Chris Hansen, and then Grogu is the little Groot, Raka Raccoon or whatever he wants to be. Like you got the whole ass crew there. But I mean, I could see maybe Grogu, but I don't see him coming out on the battlefield and really fucking helping turn the tides. Being that
Dude,
he just
I
barely learned how to
called this
walk
last
or whatever.
episode. I told you this was gonna be a fucking banger of a fucking
Knocker.
episode. I told you, and you were like, "You think so?" I'm like, "Fuck yeah!" I'm calling this next one, dude. This is going to be epic. Filoni is probably gonna direct this next one too, dude, and he's going to literally like the last one was him, and this is super explicit. The last episode was him jerking off. This next one that we're gonna get right now, that's the money shot, dude.
That's a money shot, dude.
That's the
I
money
can see
shot.
it. I mean,
That's
for
the
what
money shot.
it's worth, I really think it's going to build up to give us who's in charge of the syndicate. And
Yeah.
so far from what we're told, it's that girl Kiana from the Solo movies, which would kind of bring into reverence this idea that all these characters are connected in some way. We know Darth Maul can't come back because he was killed off when Luke was a kid.
He's done. Yeah.
So he's not coming back. But Kiana or Kina,
Key. I just call it Key.
Yeah,
right?
Key. Her character would be in the same upbringing as Darth Maul. So if she is as violent, if not in nature, what's up, Eels? How we doing? If not in nature, she is in the same vibe as Darth Maul. She's not good, nor is she bad, but she's just needing to get the job done.
Yeah.
And she's also a part of the Empire in a way, but since the how's your water slide doing? It's a good joke, dude. I'll have to tell you about that joke later. The importance of her thing is like from the Empire, but since the Empire collapsed, it now has to be its own thing, its own reverence, and now it's going to start building up its own economy and become its own thing. Because you have to remember, right now everybody's trying to catch up territory from the crash of the Empire.
Yeah,
all of these syndicates are like, well, they're going to be on the up and coming. You know what I mean? That's what's going to make the First Order and all this other stuff. So we got all that history to build on until the First Order is created. But and then of course we remember that in the last trilogies there was a small push in some of the series in the movie, I think in part 2, where they were trying to build on the idea of the war machine and the war money and all this other stuff that people were making cash in the background. So there was a little bit of talk about the economy based in the financial growth of, you know, the Jedis and the Empire being at war, the rebels and the alliances and people making money on the outside. And there was like a community of elites and rich people out there that were making cash. Yeah. And I think that was kind of brought to fruition a little bit more when the Solo movie came out and they introduced the syndicate, right? So I really think that needs to be brought in. And of course, Cad Bane came out and was like, don't mess with the syndicate or we got that ass. I really think that the reason why I think Cad Bane is going to be there as the equal to the Mandalorian, and then he will be a villain in the Mandalorian show more than a Boba Fett character.
He's not an equal though.
No, I know. But the thing is he attacks someone in the Mandalorian's storyline.
Okay.
And that's the only reason why I favor that idea. And then not only that, like Boba Fett's kind of like shit on right now. Who the fuck would care if he fought Cad Bane?
He's done. Yeah.
Would you really care to see a fight between both of those guys?
No.
But
Not after this series. They
spent so much time.
Yeah.
You've seen the Mandalorian throwdown, and you're kind of like, hey, you know what? He might not be able to beat him, but that's a fight I could get behind. I
can get behind it. I still think that they've, from what I know and from what I've seen of Cad Bane, it's gonna take. That's the only reason why I think if you have Cad Bane in this last episode where he's a part of this conflict, you need a Jedi involved here. You need to have a Jedi involved here. Otherwise,
I think you're absolutely correct. I think there has to be, because it's the flashy point of the show. You can't really have a big ass battle without it. But we have all these bounty hunters now. You know, that could kind of pick it up. That could kind of pick up that idea. But guys, what do you think in the comments? Do you think we're gonna get a Jedi out of nowhere? Just randomly fucking Mace Windu pops into the battlefield for no reason, just starts slaughtering everybody.
Shows up with one arm. He doesn't even fix the arm. He doesn't even get a mod arm. He still has one arm.
He has a lightsaber connected to his fucking forearm. No damn hand. He's just ready to fucking. All his fingers are fucking lightsabers, dude. He's just ready to fucking kickstart everything. Do you think Luke Skywalker comes in and fucking Tony Romo's Grogu into the battlefield and just knocks everybody out with his badass little armor? And he just spirals and he's just fucking spinning with Yoda's lightsaber, dude, through the sky like this, dude, just cutting everybody. Or do you think the guys handle their shit and we get a cameo of a really badass villain that comes out at the end, guys?
I promise you, Mr. Mike Betancourt, when Cal Kestis comes up, I am going to
fucking these guys are gonna trip. Brian and Chick are gonna trip.
I'm going to shit my pants. I'm gonna be at 12 o'clock for a week straight until I come on here and talk about it. I promise you. That's my guy. I love Cal Kestis.
Guys, leave it in the comments who you think is going to be the big thing. What do you guys think of the season finale coming up, guys? Everything that we talked about today, what do you guys think? Leave it in the comments, guys. We appreciate you so much. Thank you to all our extraordinary listeners for always coming back, coming in and jumping with us and talking nerd news every week. We appreciate you guys so much. Much love, guys. Be careful out there. Take care of each other. Do great things. We'll see you guys again next Friday. Hit us up in the DMs if you guys want us to cover anything in your storylines. Let us know. We're all about it. You know us, the Average Boys Podcast, nerd news as you want it. We'll see you guys again next Friday here on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch, live every Friday, 9 p.m. Bye, everybody. Peace. We love you.